Okay. I am done with exams, so let's first see if I can spell his name right. I can't remember if it's a space or not. Fuck. See, I can never invite him from the chat or from the inside the Hangout. Let me do this. See more. Oh, that's because I'm on the new one. That's why. Yeah, it's not going to work. Hold on just a minute. I hate having to switch back and forth between the new one and the old one, the Google Plus. I really don't like the new one. I really don't like it. Okay. Oh, folks, I haven't invited True yet. I had to switch back to the old one, the old Google Plus, because it won't let me search names like I want to, because I could tag him. I should be able to tag him, and I'm trying to avoid showing the Beasley because he's out running around. I just put it public. He'll jump in and be a dick. And so I'm going to explain a few things. I'm catching some flack from from a lot of folks, but I'll explain something. Notice the title, by the way. Here. Okay, someone let True know that to check his profile. I've put the link on his profile. So to give folks a little bit of history as to how this thing transpired. So G-Man was under the impression that only keyboard warriors are the ones who are saying mean things to him, and that nobody will say that to him in person. And the point that I was making is that I am one of those people, and there are many others here who will say exactly what we've said over on fucking internet in person. That's not a foreign concept. So somehow in True's mind, or whatever you want to call it, that was a challenge for a fight. Now, he first mentioned some type of fundraiser, which has since been not mentioned. So that was one of my uh, I guess points that I actually liked about it, because it could actually go towards something other than feeding his ego. But since then, he has not mentioned anything about this fundraiser. So now I'm reading, and he can drive up to some place called Kanakuk or something like that, and there's no mention of anything as far as a fundraiser. So I'm not sure how he plans on incorporating that. But this is the fundraiser thing was a smokescreen, just like I fucking knew. So let me see if I can get good old Ronnie in here, and we can talk about this, because something that I knew was going to happen did happen. The second I let him know that one of my conditions would be similar to a fight to the death, but not exactly a fight to the death, but put himself in a position as far as combat where his life may be in danger, he backed down. He hesitated quite a bit. So now it's, well, I'll just meet you in some random town in a few hours. Don't bring anyone. So let me get good old True in here. Here, I'll just put it in that thread. So let's talk about this. Actually, let me. Let me get rid of the good wolf so you can't see my shit. There we go. Awesome. So tell true. What the hell? Tell true that on that thread I've tagged him and he has the link. So you can come in here and we can chat about it and see what he actually wants to set up instead of making videos saying what he will do and all this, that, and the other. Because if he really wants to fight, he will set it up and actually include the fundraiser that he had originally mentioned. So I'm flexible as far as the stipulations, but one of the stipulations that I want to keep is that there will be one round of MMA style combat. If he doesn't like that, then hey, I don't know what to tell him. Ronnie's real name is Ronnie Rodriguez, as far as I know. He says it's Ronnie Rodriguez, so I'm guessing it's Ronald Rodriguez. But Ronnie claims he once claimed that he had like some graduate level degree in like organic chemistry. Ronnie has said all kinds of stuff. Like I don't put much stock into what the fuck he says. So if he actually wants to set this up, I'm waiting. I'm here. Folks can take the watch link, share it, and tag him, and let him know that I am here waiting for him. Let me make sure fucking Beasley can't get in here. Jesus. Weirdo. All right.
That I just read the comments. We got an echo, I think. I just read the comment section to that post you made about, you know, Ronnie's willing to drive a whole hour away from Chicago to meet you, Drag. Does he not realize you live in Maryland? Like, is it?
I don't. I I don't know.
Like, I don't know how many times you've publicly, and I apologize, I'm washing some dishes after coffee and breakfast.
That's fine.
So if you hear that in the background, but does he not understand? Like, how many times have you publicly stated you were at community college in Maryland? Like, I don't really know how many more times could you have possibly stated it. Is he that stupid?
Yes, he is that stupid. That's an obvious fucking question. I actually wanted to go over how this transpired. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and some folks are a bit miffed as to why I raised the stakes to say, hey, if you do fight me, there will possibly be a scenario in which your life will be on the line. So for me, as someone who has fought other people trying to kill them, that's really the only way I'm going to get any enjoyment out of this. Sorry, folks. That is honestly the motherfucking truth about me. That's one of the reasons I don't do any type of wrestling. I don't do any type of sports, because there's nothing that comes in contact or even close to trying to fight someone for your very life. There's no bigger rush you can get from that. So if that scares Ronnie, if Ronnie realizes that his life may be in danger fighting some random person on the internet, then maybe he should have actually listened to my original fucking statement. It's almost like,
I just don't. It's bizarre because we were talking about this on Facebook, and like, he just doesn't get it. Like, the point you were making wasn't, I want to, like, I'm big and tough on the internet. Your point was like, listen, motherfucker, like, you can pretend that you're gonna fuck with me, but I'm no one's bitch.
Basically.
I mean, I don't really know how he's so socially clueless. Like, that's the thing that, because like, you're doing a good job of playing it up. Like, I have to say, like, that part of it, you're doing a good job. Where I was like, is he? No, he's not that retarded. I was like, I can't be friends with someone who's that stupid. So like, I know that. Like, I'm like, I had to make sure. I'll fully confess, I had to make sure because you were doing a good job of convincing.
Yeah, no, that was the entire point, and a lot of people are kind of upset with me, and a few people called me a moron, and just have a family, and it's like, well, this is the point. This is exactly what I wanted. This kind of reaction, and I guess some people can consider it a bit of a troll, but if we were to fight, I do actually have stipulations. There would be a legit MMA round where I would have a realm, or I guess I could say that's my personal niche, where I know that I have training in, which is fine. But one of the things that I noticed about his original statement, he mentioned the fundraiser.
No. I have to stop you there, right? Like, if it's an actual street fight, like, are you actually going to say, "Oh no, you can't grapple with me. Let's box like gentlemen scientifically"?
Yeah, like
do you think if Floyd Mayweather got into a street fight with a UFC fighter, do you think they're just going to agree like gentlemen to box scientifically with no clinching?
No,
right? No. Someone's going to clinch him. They're going to throw him on his head, and then they're going to choke him out. Like, what do you like? Are we crazy here, right? Like, I don't buy into that's some fucking pussy shit, right? If you're going to fight, fucking fight. Like, MMA is the closest to an actual street fight you're going to get.
Yeah, so let me read the statement, folks. I made a post today. I'll be opening a hangout later today for you to discuss this fight, true empiricism. That's it. So he replies, we can do this today. I can drive as far as Kankakee. I'm not sure what Kankakee. Where the hell is Kankakee?
Yeah, it's in Illinois.
Okay, pick a spot.
I'm from Chicago, so it's like I know where this is, and he's like, "Oh, I'm willing to drive a whole hour outside of Chicago."
Yeah, like okay, well, my son doesn't need to come home from school. My wife may not need a car from work. No big deal. Like, I'll just go to Kankakee in fucking Illinois to fight some idiot on the internet.
The thing is, I gotta say, Ronnie is so ugly that the idea of him having a woman in his life, and let alone reproducing with that woman, is something he's going to inherently not understand.
That's true. I shouldn't assume that he understands that, but like, pick a spot and I'll meet you there. I'll be heading out about 4:30 today. Don't bring anyone.
Does he not understand you're in Maryland, right? Like,
I don't think
well, I hate to bring this up again. I mean, how many times have you mentioned it? Is he that like, does he not understand? Like, you can't just get onto a flight on a lark, right?
So let me tell you right now. If I went right now from Maryland, from my town, to Kankakee, Illinois, it would take me 11 hours and 36 minutes. He disconnected. Just so folks know, that is how long it would take me. So if anyone was curious as to whether this fight thing was legitimate or not, this place that he has randomly picked out of his ass is 11 hours and 36 minutes away from me. Yes.
Well, it's reasonable for you to get there by 4:30. We know how good at math Ronnie is.
Yeah. If I leave right now, I might hit some of the downtown traffic, but I should be able to make it sometime tomorrow. Like, this is hilarious, folks. This is don't bring anyone. That's a bit ominous. So from someone from Louisiana knows exactly what that means. All right. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's a bit ominous. So if he feels so insecure that he doesn't want me to bring anyone else, I mean, but fuck my safety, but he's now concerned for his.
Well, I think it's official that G-Man now can't complain about atheists ruining the great debate.
Yeah.
You can't, when your friend is acting like the biggest child, which he always has been, like, let's be clear here. But, like, this is just plain. Like, I don't see, how Christian of it is it to challenge someone to a fight?
He made it, and I like how he snuck it in there. Like, he played the clip, and actually, folks, I'm going to find the clip itself. Well, you can go to my channel and watch it. I'm going to tell you, the clip that he played was that this is the internet. Some of us have talk the talk, and we can walk the walk. Some of us, like me, for instance, I will fuck you up in person. Now, that wasn't a challenge to anyone. That was a notion that should tell most folks that I can hold my own in a fight. If it were to break out, I had a disagreement with someone, about whatever, I can hold my own. That's it. But Ronnie then kind of skips past the second part, but it doesn't have to be that way. There should be nothing on the internet to enrage you enough to travel to some random person's location and fight them. So
it's like when I joked that if G-Man ever visited Southern California, that I'd invite him to my gym and we could spar. Jiu-jitsu rules. Like, I'm fucking joking. Like, I'd actually willingly give G-Man, this is a free offer. I'd willingly give you a private lesson.
Yeah, like if G-Man legitimately said, "Hey, Drag, say you're big bag and tough, you come up to New York. There is a gym that I know. Hannah's been to this, or it's Hannah's gym or something like that. She can bring you, and hey, we can dance around the ring for a bit. You know what? It's something that's lighthearted, something that's fun. Let him get a few hits on me or whatever, and shake hands, right? But this is not what Ronnie wants. I guess Ronnie thought that I was going to back down from him because he wants to seem like a big man. But
his trainer was on Telemundo.
Oh yeah,
so,
you got that.
I mean, his trainer is so good that he couldn't make it onto Friday Night Fights or the undercard of some Showtime card. But he got onto Telemundo, Drag, like that.
Shit, man, you know what? The guys who train me have confirmed kill counts in Afghanistan, but. Whatever.
They're pussy bitches compared to Telemundo.
Let me tell you, man.
Like I quake in my boots when I think about if I could ever challenge, a Telemundo fighter.
God, fuck it.
He picks the weirdest things to brag about. We talked about this. Like he's like, "Oh, my dad can bench press." Like I know I bring it up, but it's so funny. It's like, okay, my dad's a fat Jew who works, has a lot. Like if I was to brag about what my dad has done, right, which I would never do because I'm not a fucking child. Like the first thing that's going to be is, oh, he's happy with a loving wife and loving family, right? Like it's weird that like it's weird. I'm not going to brag about what a 60-year-old lawyer can do, right? Like there's something seriously fucked up if a 60-year-old lawyer has that kind of time.
I guess. I mean, I was like, what? Like, why? Just that's the question that's always in the back of my head. Just really, like, if he's still reeling from the whole, circumference of a circle thing, or excuse me, the ratio of fucking pi. If he's still reeling from that, then I guess this is a way to take attention away from it.
Well, I mean, I think for him, right, is he can't stand the fact that, like, and at some point, and I'm going to say that this is like an entreaty to Ronnie. Like, Ronnie, there are people out there that are smarter than you. It happens in your case that there are a lot of them. And you've got to fucking get over yourself. I don't really know what to tell you, right? There are plenty of people that are smarter than me. There are plenty of people that are smarter than Drag. We don't cry about it on the internet and say that they're being big meanie heads because they outsmart us. Right? How many times, like, take for instance, like Hogtie. Hogtie's a fucking brilliant guy.
Yeah.
And like, how many times have I acted super insecure that Hogtie, like is, as intelligent, if not more intelligent than I am, like easily. Like I'm being conservative because I don't even know. Maybe if I knew about his work, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Like, no, like I don't even hold a candle. When have I postured about him? When have I, like, I don't, and we've disagreed on things. Like, no, like I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I get to interact with an intelligent person, right?
Yeah, it's a pride. It's something that you enjoy, because being in the presence of someone who is superior to you, that allows you the opportunity to learn, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, why go to fucking school?
Well, there you go. That's why he's not in fucking school.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even fucking get it. Like, I always, and I said this to Max, like, every time I think that they're like, we've hit bottom, he somehow grabs out a shovel and digs the hole deeper. Like, how the fuck?
The only thing I think that he could do that would be worse than this is challenge my mother to a fight. Like, I really, I can't think of anything else, honestly. But then again, my mother fights dirty. She once threatened to shit in some lady's on some lady's porch for letting her dog shit in our yard. Looking back, I kind of see where I get some of my habits from.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, just maybe a little bit, just a little bit.
My mom went to law school on the basis that someone said she couldn't do it. They're like,
That-
"Oh, you're a woman." So if you're wondering, like, at least part of where I get it from.
That's super petty, but that's super awesome. well, I can't. Well, you know what? My wife actually, me and my wife had some tension when we were first married. I know, right? Just marital tension after you first married.
Shocking.
Yeah. So like, she got a degree while breastfeeding, all online, while dealing with me in the military. Got her associate's degree in criminal justice, and she threw it in my face. And she said the main motivation was just to throw it in my face. And so you know what? I'm like, I need to be a better husband, but God damn it, I married the right fucking one. She got a degree just to spite me.
I mean, fuck, that's badass as shit.
Yeah, I mean, she is pretty amazing, and the fact that she puts up with me is that alone makes her amazing. But like I can't speak highly enough about her, and I'm glad she's in my life because if I was a lot younger me, a lot less mature, I would have probably tried to meet up with fucking true empiricism in some Chicago fucking slum, so he can try to butt rape me or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I would not, like, that's the thing. If you're gonna go to Chicago, like, visit me when I'm with my parents. Like, also you'll shock all the suburban people. Large black guy, you get to watch all the scared pussy white people run.
The perch clutch, just
yeah. So you'll have that treatment, but also just don't go to like wherever he is, right? Like nothing about any of his videos has suggested that he lives well. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like you've seen my apartment in my videos over the past few years. Like it's a small apartment, but it's not like no one would go, "Oh, that's a shithole." It's a shit box. It's not. I'm not living in the Ritz. I don't claim to. It's a nice little place, and I like the neighborhood, right? Like there have been people from YouTube who have been to my neighborhood. It's not a rough place. But I think that I wouldn't be able to go out. I would be scared of going outside. Remember that video where Ronnie was walking outside and it looked like a bombed out chemical factory?
Yeah, there was some huge container. I was trying to figure out if it was like a barrel or one of those giant concrete cylinders that they put underground. I can't remember what they're called, but that I was trying to figure out which one it was because I was like, well, is it a construction site or is it just some place that was being renovated?
It's the same as G-Man. G-Man does not look like he lives well.
No, actually, Oh, speaking of which, I'm sorry I had to interrupt you. Alicia, the person that I call and put on speakerphone sometimes, she's from G-Man's area. And so she said she watched a few of his videos because I introduced her to G-Man and online. And
Did
she
you
said
apologize?
I'll tell you about that later.
you gotta do also this is reminding me, you gotta do some Ali type trash talking, just like that boy dreams of whooping me. He better wake up and apologize. Like that's my really horrible Southern black dude from the '60s impression, by the way, people.
I'll probably do some of that with Redline, and we'll record it while we're walking in New York. That's actually a good idea.
Ali had some of the best trash talk of all time, man. Like that's one of my favorite. He's so ugly that his tears run up his head.
It's silly, but it's like, damn.
But like he got into people's heads with it.
Yeah, because it got annoying after a while, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm tired of this guy, talking shit. So I'm gonna fight him." And then, he's a lot better than I thought. Well, maybe he can talk the talk. And
I think one of my favorites is like when he was talking about Sonny Liston, and he goes, "Sonny Liston shouldn't be champ. He's too ugly to be champ. The champ should be pretty like me."
Oh man, did he?
It sounds childish, but it's hysterical.
Didn't he say that to him in a casino or something? Because he went to a casino to antagonize him.
He used to drive up. This is how crazy Ali was. He would drive up onto Sonny's lawn at like 2 a.m. because he knew that if he could, the only thing that Sonny didn't like was guys who were like fucking crazy. He would drive up and he'd be like, "Come on, fight me now, Sonny," at like 3 a.m. Like,
but shit, it worked.
It got into his head, like, and Ali also was a terrible matchup for him.
Yeah, like it's like it was a big size difference because I remember Sonny Liston was a big fucking dude, if I remember correctly.
Ali, yeah, he had a longer reach than Ali, I think, but Ali just so fast. That was Ali when he was Ali, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds tautologous, but that was Ali when he was like a motherfucker. When he could dance.
He could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Rumble, young man, rumble. As he used to say. I'm fucking so white. I should just never say any of his catchphrases.
That's okay. It's okay. No one's here. We don't judge. We don't judge.
We don't judge.
Not much.
not that much though.
No.
But no, that's hysterical. So what did she say about G-Man while I was interrupting you?
She actually said that she knew where he lived, like just from that general area, and that he could only live if that's the place that that he resided in. That's not a very up and coming area. It's a shithole for lack of a better term.
He lives in the ghetto.
Pretty much.
Lives in the hood.
This again. This is what someone from New Jersey, after seeing G-Man walking outside in one of his videos, said. All right, so I had never been to New Jersey, not like that. I've driven through it, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the fuck you're talking about. So it's
I
mean, my area is an up and coming area.
Hey, make no mistake, folks. I've lived in some shitty places too. If you type in Woodville, Mississippi, and go to Google Earth, you'll see a place that has a total of 1 street light in the entire town.
Sorry, my internet, or not my internet, my fucking phone. Like the Google Hangouts app just randomly exits you out of calls. It's just like call error. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, Google's been fucking up lately. A lot.
It's always done this. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, anyone who's on their phone, if you notice that they randomly drop, it's because
it happened a lot yesterday. It happened to Hannah and a few others. All right, folks, take the watch link, share it, tag Ronnie, let him know that he's been given the link. He's been tagged several times. He can come in here and talk and discuss these terms, but I don't know what else to say. Other than if you're just now tuning in, he challenged me to a fight in, how do you say it, Kankakee, Illinois, which is an hour away from him and 11 and a half hours away from me. So if I leave,
he's being so magnanimous, Drag. He's willing to drive there that whole hour.
I know, right?
You just need to hop on a red-eye flight and
just burn rubber, burn air, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Like I don't know what to say. If this does not win Ronnie Dumb Fuck of the Year, I don't know what will.
I mean, I was on DD's side because I feel like Ronnie has a genuine disability. And I feel like DD, like, he's willingly dumb, which I think counts for more. But
you know what? That's a good point.
I'm wrong. I stand very corrected.
That is interesting. Should we because you know what, people have been saying G-Man has probably a fetal alcohol syndrome, and the more I talk to him, the more I think about it, it's probably fucking true.
I just think I honestly just think crackhead. Like
that's what I said at first, but then I've met quite a few crackheads just walking home before I had a car, years and years ago, and he's lucid enough not to be a crackhead. It's just the hyperactivity is what throws you off, because you kind of associate the skinniness and the hyperactivity with crackhead. But it may be fetal alcohol syndrome. But for Ronnie, I think,
and I want to be clear, it's because I don't think that G-Man can afford cocaine. And he doesn't have, like, his skin isn't that fucked up, so I don't think he's a meth head.
No.
It's some sort of stimulant. That's the point I'm getting at. Could be speed, but again, I don't see that as common of a drug anymore.
No, you really don't hear people doing that. What I do know is that There's some soldiers that took some of those like pre-workouts, and I'm pretty sure G-Man takes pre-workouts because he says he goes for runs in the morning. So I'm like, well, some of that hyperactivity may be the pre-workout, and I've known a few soldiers to fucking snort it. And yeah, just throwing it out there.
I mean, man, the best pre-workout is just a cup of coffee, to be honest. Like, I don't like I don't trust the other shit that's in that, right? Like, because the problem is the supplement industry is not regulated at all, and so like you don't fucking know if it's like blend of goat or whatever the fuck. This isn't conspiracy talk. It's like legitimate. It's not a regulated industry.
Yeah, I actually found that. Like, go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say. I was rambling.
Oh yeah, I did find that interesting because it didn't really dawn on me until well, this is not really a supplement, but I really didn't understand which drugs were heavily scrutinized until the FDA finally said, you know what, homeopathic medicine is bunk, and it took them this fucking long. Like there's no scientific evidence in anywhere to validate, you know, 1,000th of a million of or whatever, you know, it's going to somehow trigger some immune response. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be pre-workout. I don't know, man. I don't know why he has an ego about running, because I know a lot about running. For people that don't know, I actually was, you know, like 6-time All-Region in college. Like I was good. I was never anything terribly special, right? Like I was just like kind of a shade below being national level, which I mean sucked. Like it's kind of like, oh, people in my conference knew who I was, you know, not, you know, people in the country knew who I was. But, and this was Division III, so again, not anything too exceptional. But I know people who have run really good marathons, and I can assure you G-Man has not. And that's just based on his times, right, which he's released. Like, okay, a 4-hour marathon is like impressive for someone that doesn't fucking run, but it's not something to brag about. That's a time where you go, oh, I finished a marathon. Cool. Like if he just left at that, good for him. But he's like, oh no, I'm in great shape. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't a 4-hour marathon be like an average time for like the color run or something?
It's like an average time for like just like hobby joggers.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not, and again, I'm not saying this to insult him. Like that's fucking great. You could finish a marathon. Most people can't. That's awesome. But then again, you know, I don't have a single friend from college that's run slower than about 3 hours, I would say. Which is like a 7-minute mile roughly.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pace time. Like, you know what? I'll hand it to G-Man. G-Man can beat me in long distance running all day long. Probably since the day he was born and the day I was born, he could probably beat me hands down. Long distance. I don't do long distance. I sprint. I've never been a good long distance runner. So hats off to you, G-Man. I'm trying to be more positive and give him a little bit more credit. But I don't know what to say about Ronnie. Ronnie will never convince me he's a tough guy ever.
Well, yeah, like, I'm not terribly convinced, because like why would he need to, like, I don't know why he feels the need to brag the way that he does. Like I don't think legitimate tough guys need to brag about it. They just are. It's sort of a, you know, have you seen the movie Knock Around Guys?
No, I've not seen that movie.
And there's a great scene where like they're in, so like there was a switch off, and like it's a mob movie, and so there's like a switch where somehow some, you know, bunch of punks in North Dakota get like $500,000 in a suitcase. And the son of like the Don is supposed to, and I'm fucking up this plot, but he's supposed to recover it. And so they're in some random bar in North Dakota, and they're like looking for the biggest tough guy. And this guy's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then Vin Diesel is the enforcer. And it comes up to the guy. He's like, he'll do. Like, and they're just gonna kick the shit out of the toughest guy. And Vin Diesel just walks up to him and goes, 500. And the guy goes, 500 what, douchebag? And like spits a bunch of dip down his leg. He goes, 500 street fights until you become a legitimate. That's what I figured when I was a kid. Until you become a legitimate tough guy. It's like you learn a lot of things Because like you do it, you know, to develop leather skin. But while you're on the path to 500, you realize that it's not about that. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're a tough guy. And then that's what you are. And the guy, like, his posture just completely changes. He goes like, oh, and I'm re-saying it. Like, Google that. It's a great scene. And he just goes, and the guy goes, I got no problem with you. And then he just kicks the living shit out of this guy. It's a fucking fantastic scene. And that's what I'm sort of reminded of here. Is like Ronnie's kind of the hick in this metaphor.
So, and it's the bar fight?
Yeah, it's a bar fight.
Okay,
knock around guys. Yeah.
I just found it.
Don't play that. You could definitely get some copyright shit going.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it right now. Let me see. Knock around. I'm putting it in the chat. Someone's asking. Knock around, guys. Yeah, I've had a few people snap to me, but it was only until I was in the military, because it's a different environment. In the military, you can fight people like you're trying to kill them. And there was one legitimate time that I tried to kill one of my squad members because I got pissed off. It wasn't, it's that day, today's the day. The kid was running his fucking mouth. I'm not sure how I pissed this kid off. I don't know what I still do to this fucking day. I don't know what he had against me, but there's just something about me he didn't like. And this kid probably stood all of 5'4" and weighed maybe 185. And he fancied himself a little tough guy. And so I said, fuck it. You know what? Me and you can go. And my sergeant, the one that oversaw my level 1 combatives training, said, all right, take off your shit. So you had to take everything out of your uniform and go what we call sterile. And you flip your collar up so that your ACU jacket looks more like a gi. And that's so you can, perform blood chokes and whatnot and airway chokes. And so we stripped down, got sterile, and I let him pretty much tackle me from the beginning so I could get him on the ground, because I knew if I just kind of ran up on him and tried to close distance, he would try to probably get up under me, or, something little sneaky little small guys can do. So I said, fine. The second he landed on me, I posted up with my left leg and kicked over with my right and turned him over. So then I think I was in his guard, if I'm saying that correctly. It's been a while. And so I proceeded to put pressure on his carotid artery with my forearm. I wasn't trying to choke him out. I was trying to hurt him. And so as I was doing that, I made it look like I was trying to wrench his arm, but I really wasn't. So I just kept putting pressure on that, but my sergeant saw what I was doing and pulled me off of him. And so he got pissed off. So we had to reset. You sit down, then you can turn around and, for the next round. And so I did it again. And so for the third time, I reached over and I grabbed with my left hand, I grabbed his left collar, took it and wrenched it, and then reached over with my right, took that one, wrenched it, and then crossed them over.
Collar choke?
To choke him out. And so as he started to tap, I pulled it more. And so I rolled it so my sergeant couldn't see as he was tapping, and people were saying, he's tapping. So at that point in time, I was pretty pissed off. And so I did it tighter before he pulled me off of him. And so this kid, after that, we never had any issues.
I actually cross-collar choked someone last night. That's not one of my good chokes, by the way.
It's a really shitty thing to do, but it's actually harder to do for me, because people end up putting their arm up through your through where you have your hand, and then they chop it like that and move your hand away.
Well, if you do that, then they give you the arm bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, people who are level 2 or level 3 know how to do that, and I would never do it on them, because I'm giving them my arm. Like you were putting your arm out there for them to say, "Hey, get that and break it."
Or you can just slide your hand underneath and go to what's called an Ezekiel choke, where you grab your own. And I'm about to go. So you put your arm around them like you're cradling their head, and then what you do is with the arm that's cradling their head, you grab inside your sleeve. And then you rotate the arm with the sleeve that you're grabbing, and you like shove it through across their neck. And so you're using your own gi to like adjust your choke.
Huh. I think I've seen that move. I'm not sure if it was called that, but
it's called an Ezekiel choke.
That sounds, the way that you described it sounds familiar.
It's almost like an inverted rear naked choke.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Ezekiel choke. I'm pretty sure I've seen someone do that. It wasn't. I don't think it was in the level 1 fight. I was watching my commander fight one of the. It's gonna sound funny. He fought one of the nurses in the hospital. All right, this I don't. Let me explain.
All right, I have to take off, so I'm gonna listen to the story from the YouTube app, but I do have to go into lab. So
okay,
I do have to leave you, but I do want to hear this story. So just give me a second to get on my YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm actually watching a little bit right now. The Ezekiel. Yeah. Okay. I was shown how to do this. I couldn't pull it off. Okay. Yep, I remember being taught that, but it's one of those techniques that, for me, as a bigger guy, I don't think I have the dexterity for that kind of technique unless I'm sneaky about it, and unless maybe I can try and pretend I'm getting an armbar, and then I can just go to the Ezekiel choke. But I mean, it would have to be fluid for me. So there are limitations as to what you can do as a fighter. But okay, folks, so. It sounds really weird that my commander of an infantry troop in the cavalry was fighting a nurse, but it was a male nurse. All right, so I'm trying to set this up right. My commander was my size. At the time, he's probably 6'2", 6'3". I'm about 6'1", and we were both roughly 245, 250 pounds. My commander and I could stand shoulder to shoulder. We're big guys. So he would train with me to get prepared for his combatives tournament. So in the Army, you have a combatives tournament, and it's like a tier tournament. And so you need to be at least level 2 combatives level certified, and then you can compete. We have a competition between first squadron and second squadron, and the competition took place in front of the battalion commander and sergeant major. Now, if you don't understand what a battalion sergeant major, but it was his boss and his boss's advisor. Now, this is one of the times in the Army or in any military service where you need to shine, where you need to show your shit to show that you are worthy of leading men into combat. And so my commander's opponent was he was in it. I think he was a first lieutenant. I don't think he was a second. He was a first lieutenant who was a male nurse that worked in the hospital, but he was combatives trained. It is odd. I know it is very odd, but he had enough leeway so that he could train and become proficient and certified in combatives. So after my initial training at level 1, my commander and I sparred a bit, and he wanted to try some techniques. Later on that week, we went to the combatives tournament, which took place in the gym on base. And when I say this nurse whooped a fucking infantry commander's ass, he played bongo drums on his head, because in the Army, you can strike, you can punch the head. And I could see my commander's head turning red. And the most embarrassing part wasn't him getting his ass whooped by a male nurse from Medac in front of his boss and his boss's advisor. His wife was in the stands, and she was, Eric, get him, Eric, get him, Eric, no, Eric. And me and the shop sergeant just turned and looked, because I'm on the mat. I'm there. I'm the medic, just in case something happens. They need a medic on standby. And I'm learning too, because I was going to be level 2 before I got fucked up. And I hear something. I hear Eric, and I look and I said, hey, Sergeant, is that Captain Lasky's wife? And he's like, yeah. What? Holy shit. And then I look over at our battalion commander, who's standing right over there, up against the wall where the mats are. And he's just looking, watching the fight, and I can see the battalion sergeant major, with his arms crossed, just kind of look up and go, huh. And he starts looking at his wife, like, what the hell's going on? And I see him mumble something, and then I see the battalion commander look up and just shake his head and laugh. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that was bad because this Medac nurse was on top of him, like straddling him, punching him in the head. And all my commander could do was just to post up. But I'm like, hey, Captain Melansky, hey, just grab him. He could have grabbed his left arm with his right, pulled him through underneath, and then flipped him, and then mount him. Like it would have been a fluid movement, but he couldn't. For some reason, he couldn't get his arm. That would be the best thing to do, other than just sit there and take hits. But he took a good 15 hits to the face, or to the temple, I should say, and he ended up losing that match. And so it was kind of hard for him to live that down. That was embarrassing. But then that the nurse ended up going to, I think it was Fort Hood. It was either Fort Hood or Fort Benning. I can't remember where like the big combatives tournament is. Someone feel free to correct me. But like it was sad, and I gave him shit, by the way. I definitely gave him shit for that, because why not? I like to give my commander shit. So yeah, it was an interesting time, but it's one of those funny stories that you never really forget. And I can't say that I could only hope that my wife wouldn't have been up there doing that, or at least she wouldn't have been audible so that people could hear, because that's fucking embarrassing. Have your wife, no. I'm not gonna lie, he was getting his shit pushed in, but he wasn't gonna die. But he was taking some hits. So yeah, Patchwork, you really didn't miss anything. So what Ronnie has now said, and I'll play a little bit of, if I can find it, in my original video, because I keep saying I'm going to play it, and then I keep going like, you know what, whatever. No. If I can remember which one it is. It was a section, one of my hangouts that he took, where Ronnie, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to challenge me to an actual fight. Now, the original premise was that it was for charity or some type of fundraiser. I believe the term he used was fundraiser. Ronnie's been invited. This is the third time this week I have invited him to come talk to me about this instead of making videos, because if you want to actually like meet up, kind of need to know like this is going on or something. But he's instead offered to drive an hour away to some place called Kaneki, which is, let me get translation. It's 11 hours from me, and he can meet me there with nobody. I can't bring anybody, but he can meet me an hour away from his place. Because that's going to go well. So rather than saying, you know what, maybe a few weeks from now or something like that, we can meet up in a neutral area, maybe where Hannah lives, or maybe where Scott Garrison lives, or something like that. Sometime, that people can arrange their schedules, because mind you, I have work, I have school, and I have a family. He has nothing. So I do have some obligations. A lot of folks are kind of pissed off that I've raised the stakes, and I did that for a reason. So a lot of folks have said, well, you know what, you drag, that's stupid. Why would you fight him to the death? That's just mean. That, why would you this, that, and the other? Here's something I want folks to understand. This is the deal. The original fucking video, where I state that he plays and he cuts off, where I state, you know what, I am one of those people who will fuck you up in real life. And it's true. I can hurt a grown man, my size, smaller or bigger. I can seriously injure, if not kill. I've been trained to do so. That doesn't mean that I can at any point in time, just randomly. No. If it came down to a fight for my life, I'm pretty sure I can hold my own. All right. Ronnie takes this as a challenge. Ronnie says, you know what? We're going to be a big boy. Drag that. Hold on, let me. So, I'll fight you. We can do a fundraiser too. You can come to my gym in Chicago, I've been trained by a guy who's been on Telemundo. Telemundo. So he wants to box. Why? Because I state that arguments on the internet, disagreements on the internet don't have to end in violence. That's the logic, folks. That's the logic at work here. And he wonders why he's being nominated for Dumb Fuck of the Year. Completely missed the point of my video. So where I'm getting flack is that I say, well, if you're going to fight, there needs to be at least one round in MMA where your life may be in danger at some point. Now, folks didn't like that too much, and I'll have to explain that a bit. When you've been trained to fight for your life and to try and kill the other person, it's very hard to go back from that. And the whole point of what I was saying was actually a notion that G-Man had put forth earlier this week, when if you run across the wrong person, they might do something bad to you. You kind of see how this all is coming around. I am one of those people. I actually can seriously hurt you. So if he doesn't feel confident enough in his ability that his life may be in danger, then he may want to rethink randomly challenging someone on the internet. Do you see how that works? So I was easily, it's easy for me to call his fucking bluff. I have literally fought for my life several times and have enjoyed it a little bit too much. One of the reasons I actually abstain from fighting. That's why I don't do wrestling. That's why I don't do MMA. That's why I don't do any of that shit. Because it's something that I have effectively put in my past. So, I mean, if his YouTube infamy is going to be challenging folks to ridiculous conditions and to try and call someone out when he has no grounds, then this is yet another testament to that. Because let's face it, if he wants to box, honestly, I'd probably stand there and let him hit me, just so he can feel good about himself. Because I've already proven to myself how much of a big man that I am. I've already done it. I don't have to prove how much of a man I am to anyone else ever again, because there was only one person that I needed to prove that to, and that was me. I said, fuck it. I wanted something better in my life. So, well, what could I do? I could take the plunge. I could go and do the same thing that many of my uncles and many of my forefathers have done and serve the country. I can literally put my life on the line. Not being behind the desk, not repairing equipment, but being a combat medic, being in the shit, being able to save lives and take it, depending on a scenario. I've already proven that. I have the DD-214 in there to prove it. I've shown my shit already. I've done it. I don't have to fight anyone in a ring or in the street to prove how much of a man I am. It's over and done with. That's it. So, congratulations, True. You played yourself. So, I find it funny. I do find it interesting, though, that people who have never served in their life have this yearning, I guess you can call it. And it's not everyone. It's certain people who don't have something like fulfilling in their life. You know, if you don't have like something to dedicate to, and it's I won't say mostly guys, it might be testosterone, but if you don't have anything fulfilling, if you have not reached that peak, actually not even the peak, if you haven't reached rock bottom, and when I say rock bottom, I mean that point in your life where you reevaluate everything. You say, you know what, this current path isn't working. What am I doing with myself? Am I going to be anything? Who am I? If you have not reached that point and asked yourself those questions, you can't say how much of a man you are. You can't say anything about yourself because you don't know shit about yourself. You have not reached rock bottom. You have not faced the greatest enemy that you will ever face in your life, which is yourself. You can't say anything about anything. Nothing. I reached that point well before I went into the military. Well before. And so I made a decision. I said, hey, I'm going to take this plunge to show myself what I can do. I want to unlock my full potential, show how much of a man I am. But that's not for everybody. And I'm not going to, say that just because you have not joined the military, you're less of a man. Well, I respect folks who find their way without the military, because in all honesty, it does take a lot, and it takes a lot from you to do that. But to show me you're a man isn't challenging me to a fucking fight over the internet. Let's be completely fucking honest. So, because like I said, some people have been giving me shit about that, but I did this to prove a point. I hyped it up to prove a point. The reality is I can fucking hurt True really bad, permanently injure, if not kill him. That is a fucking fact. That's not me bloviating. That's not me exaggerating. That's not me being arrogant. That's a fucking fact. And so to put that into perspective, that's the entire reason that I made the video and said it doesn't have to be like this. It never has to be like that. And one of the things that I kept in the back of my mind as I was obtaining a really, really big fucking head in the military and becoming more proficient at both trying to cure people and trying to break them is something my grandfather told me. Jolie Atkins. He died around 2004. And I only had a few choice conversations with him because he slowly went into a diabetic like stupor. And he was just completely incoherent. He was a shell of the man he once was. But he was by no means a paragon. A man had his faults, but he told me something, because I had to issue bullying, and I've mentioned this before. I was bullied very, very bad as a child. Like him, I wanted to have his size and have his strength, because he could break a man very easily. And so I told him that, and he just looked at me and said, "Boy, you stupid." And I was shocked, because I thought it was a compliment to want his size and strength, to go beat up people. And he told me that even for his size, he'd only gotten in one fight his entire life. This man was well over 70 years old. One fight. And I found that hard to believe. My young mind couldn't grasp that. And he said, "You know what? Having this strength, having these hands, it doesn't mean anything. It's about what you have up here." He valued wisdom. He taught me to value wisdom and knowledge, wisdom more so than knowledge, because that will keep you alive longer, and that will serve you better than strength. Because in the end, your intellect, your ability to see reason, is much more effective than having big muscle or having an intimidating size. And that's something that's stuck with me for quite some time, and it's very true. Being able to avoid confrontations and unnecessary fights has served me way better than my large size. And I don't think True has had that kind of lesson. I don't think that he has gotten to that stage in his life where he realizes that there's just certain actions that just shouldn't happen. There's certain behaviors that just aren't acceptable. And I know that. And I think everyone else knows that. So I don't take this clown seriously. If he honestly does want to come in and have a friendly fight, I have no problem with that. Just a friendly fight. But this wasn't a friendly fight. His offer was under the guise of him wanting to help Gus, and that's my original reason why I accepted it. Since then, there's been no talk about fundraiser for Gus, how this is going to benefit Gus, how this is going to benefit either party, either one of us, because if it's not a fight like we're trying to kill each other, I'm honestly not going to enjoy it. Like I said, it's hard to go back from that. So him using Gus to try and goad me into some fucking stupid ass conflict should show you how much of a shitty person he is. The man's in the hospital. The man was in the ICU. He's going to need rehabilitative help once he gets out. But this was an opportunity for True to show his ass, and he did. I invited him several times just to sit and talk about it. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm just fucking with you, you know, whatever. He used Gus and Gus's condition to try and prove something to me. Because and I say it was to me because if he has something to prove to his fucking self, he doesn't need me. I didn't need True. And hold on for a second. I didn't need True to prove to myself that I was a man. I didn't need True's permission to join the military. I didn't need True's help climbing Mount Teaford. I didn't need True's help passing NREMT. I didn't need True's help doing anything in my fucking life. I don't need anything from him. Not a goddamn thing. But he needs validation. He needs someone to recognize how great he is. He can't do it on his own. He needs help. It's sad. It's really fucking sad. It honestly is fucking pathetic. Why am I needed to prove to him how much of a man he is? I mean, if let's assume something here. And you know, Patala Blue, I do want to explain something because I'm getting a bit of flack from folks, and I expected as much because I wanted to point out something. I wanted to show something here about how True operates. Now, I told him a long time ago, I got his fucking number. I see how he operates and I see the things that he does. And that he thinks that if he raises the stakes, that people are going to back down from him. But what he doesn't realize is when you grab the tail of a tiger, hey, you're going to get bit. I guess he thought like telling me some shitty story about him dealing with a gang member was supposed to like intimidate me, but he forgets I'm from Louisiana. What do you think I run into every day while I was living there? Like, what do you don't think I've associated with gangs? You don't think that some of my family members may have been incarcerated for gang activity? Come on now. Did he really think that that was something that was going to scare me once I've actually faced death? On one occasion, survived a hurricane. Come on. So it's like, I don't, what do you say? What do you say to someone who needs you to validate their masculinity? What do you say to someone that can't do the things that you've done in your life, but the only way that they feel that they can try to, I guess, recoup some of that lost ego is to challenge you to a fist fight? And just for Ronnie, if he wants to come to Maryland or New York and punch me in the face to make himself feel better, I'll give him one hit. Because I know that that's all he'll get. He's not going to obtain my education. He's not going to obtain my status as a military member. Probably not. He might have a family as nice as mine. He might have a decent job that pays fairly decently. Don't know. Does being a manager at Wendy's pay well? It might. So all in all, if this doesn't tell you the depths of his stupidity, I don't know what will, folks. I really don't know what will. The second I raised the stakes on him and made him realize that his life may be in danger fucking with somebody on the internet, he proved my point. That was the entire point. Hell, even G-Man made the point that when you mess with people and you don't know their mindset, that could be bad. True missed what G-Man said and did exactly that. So I honestly don't know if he works at Wendy's or not. There's an image made by David Ezio that has his face like superimposed on. It's either McDonald's or Wendy's. I forget which one, but that's what it's a reference to. If I can find the image, I'll share it. I might still have that image actually. I hate this program deletes, like it'll randomly delete images that I've saved. Oh man, yeah, I don't know where it is now. Yeah, a part of me thinks that there is something kind of mentally wrong with Ronnie. Well, I know there's something mentally wrong with me other than depression, anxiety, and PTSD. There's probably something else there too. But what else is there to say? I've invited the man to come just to come talk to me. You didn't have to agree to shit. Kind of goddamn thing. You can say, you know what, Drake, fuck you. You full of shit. Fuck you. And you could have left. Hey, you know what? Fuck me. He's so much of a bitch. He won't even come here and talk to me. This dude won't even come and have a conversation in a Google Hangout. And I pointed that out earlier, not today, a few days ago. The dude won't even come and chat with me, Sam, Fiona. He won't even fucking talk. But he thinks that he'll somehow gain the wherewithal to fight me? Is he fucking stupid? Now I've sat here for a little while and waited for him. He claims that he can drive an hour away from wherever the fuck he lives, in middle of bumfuck nowhere. And he could have just connected to his phone and told me to fuck off or said something on Google Plus. Nothing. So, you know, I know bitch made people when I see them, and Ronnie, you are a bitch made. Sorry. Maybe you can work on that. Maybe you can actually do something with your life. Don't know. Maybe this is just an idea, folks. This is, you know, I stand with Ronnie. And I mean, I stand with Ronnie. Maybe he can go back to school and actually get a fucking education. Maybe he can do something with that boxing career and actually become good enough to, you know, be shown on American television. Maybe he can come, like, go to what do you call it? American Idol. That's it. American Idol with his musical talents. Maybe. Maybe he could become like a world-class dog breeder. I hear he breeds some pretty good dogs. I think I saw a few of them too. He might be able to do that. You know, there's things he can do, but this Google Plus thing ain't one of them. Don't know. Yeah, I've heard of Tech9. Yeah, I actually got the phrase "bitch made" from a buddy of mine, Nathan Carter, another soldier in Texas. He was a Texan, and evidently they use that term very often. And he used it to describe me because, well, I was being bitch made at that point in time. I have no problem admitting that. I was sulking over an injury. Like, I got injured right after I completed my like combatives level 1, and it got to me. It fucked, like, that injury got to me because I started like feeling all other kind of shit was wrong. And so yeah, that's one of the times bitch made came up. So I'm glad that, you know, you do need people in your life like that to kind of slap some sense into you. It's just very seldom do you can find people in your life that can say, just shake you like, you know, wake the fuck up, you know, quit being a bitch. And I thank him for that. He's very curt, very harsh person, but very abrasive. But I appreciate his honesty because he wasn't going to be a bitch and just dance around it and, you know, okay, it'll be a fight. No. I really do value people like him. And like I said, I think everyone should have someone like that in their life. Oh, he was from Killeen, by the way, Killeen, Texas. I think Killeen's near Fort Hood, I want to say. I want to say it's Hood. Yeah, well, I'm actually curious. Where's Hood? Yeah, located in Killeen. Yeah, so yeah, I was right. Yeah. Yep, it is Killeen. Thank you, Random Atheist Guy, for the Tech 9 post. Thank you. I'm actually a fan of UGK, believe it or not. Sam and I both told him to stop being a bitch. He won't listen. He likes being a bitch. Don't know what else to say. I'll hold this open for a little bit longer if he wants to come in and try and get something together. Like I said, I'm not opposed to having a friendly bout with him, but one of the things that I would like to have is like an MMA bout. So if he has an area that he excels in, then fuck, have an MMA round. But I'm not going to like teleport 11 hours away to go fight some random fucking dude in a slum in Chicago with nobody else. Like, sorry, my Negro senses are tingling there. I'm not sure what to say about that. So just in case folks want to see exactly what I'm talking about here, I'll screen share it so you guys can see the offer that he made to me. And you guys make up your mind on how it sounds. All right. Let me screen share it. Application window. Okay. Should come up in just a second. The stream is laggy. Okay. So there we go. And notice Fiona Robinson's comment. So we can do this today. And at the time it was 11:52. I was taking my calculus exam when he put this up. I can drive as far as Kankakee, excuse me. Pick a spot and meet you there. I'll be heading out at 4:30 today. Do not bring anyone. So that was his offer. Just so you guys can see it. So that's a response to this. This is all I put. Let's actually sit down and try to arrange something. Because mind you, the original premise here, the original offer, I should say, was that it was for a fundraiser of some sort. He used that term, and that's what caught my eye, or ear, I should say. Eye. And so now it's just some random brawl in some town an hour away from where he lives. Yeah. So that lets you know what kind of person you're dealing with here. Just so we all know. Yeah, I've met people with TBI who are a bit more lucid than true. But it's like, folks, it's posturing. At the end of the day, it is posturing. If he was legitimate about setting this up, I've given him multiple opportunities to actually come and talk and discuss some of the terms. Let's discuss what's going to happen. Let's discuss a time frame. If there's going to be a fundraiser, let's discuss all of this. Let's talk about where and when to meet up. Let's talk about the rules. If there are stipulations that you don't like, let's talk about it. So I'm like, all right, well, you can just post silly comments like that, and I'm like, what does he really expect me to do? That's what's really funny. Like, he can say that he's not posturing and he's serious, but if I left right now, I wouldn't arrive to Kankakee for another almost 12 hours. So is he going to wait there for 12 hours, or I guess it's 11 hours? Yeah, 11 hours. Like, really? Like, just assuming I were to take him up on his stupid ass offer. I get in the car, and let's just assume that my wife got off work early, and I went and got my son, and I told her to fuck off for tomorrow, whatever, and she would just have to stay home from work. And I'm going to hit the road and drive 11 hours straight to come meet some fucking treasure troll in some town in Illinois for a brawl out of nowhere. So, yeah. I mean, am I being unreasonable here? Maybe I, I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm just doing shit wrong. I don't. What did Baron say? The whole "don't bring anybody" just sounds too much like one of these morbid scenes from Breaking Bad where Walter White dissolves a body in water. Yeah, yeah. And that's a bit ominous. Like, if it has to get to that point, then that's exactly what the entire point was. Like, if you're challenging someone to meet them in a dark alley because they said a bad word to you on the internet, then you've taken things too far. Like, he's so far in deep now that he has to do shit like that to see if I'll back down. But I'm waiting for him to actually come in the hangout and discuss why he has that stipulation. Still here waiting. It's been over an hour. Yeah, my wife would be like, yeah, a fight. Yeah, right, huh? Yeah. Hey, Hannah.
Hey, Drag.
Oh, turn the dildo off. So did you see True's offer?
I don't understand. You just asked him, hey, can you come in the hangout, so we could discuss the details. And he's like, bro, let's go right now, bro. Listen, bro, I can drive an hour away. I can drive to Kinnicky, bro. Listen, bro, just don't bring anybody, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's thinking it's right now, like it's on right now. You're gonna drive to wherever the fuck right now. Are you serious?
It's really hard to take this guy seriously.
He has problems organizing anything. You know the debate I was gonna try to organize with between Antonio, myself, Ronnie, and Steve?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he can't. He has no organizational skills at all. Like, he doesn't understand sequential order, right? Like, you don't say, let's do it right now when nobody has agreed on a date or a time or anything, right? It doesn't work that way. Yeah, he's just like, I can show up right now, bro. Just pick a spot. Don't bring anybody else. Fuck it. Bring the whole team. I want a camera crew there.
Well, yeah, that was one of the original things. Is it's supposed to be like for a fundraiser. Like, hey, let's help out Gus. So how about some type of organization so we could kind of do the fundraising part? No, maybe. Like, then, like, what's the point then? If it's not to help Gus, it's to prove something for him, because I don't have anything to prove to anyone other than myself, which, fuck. Hold on, he's not coming in. He still has the link. It's out there.
No, message him and be like, hey, listen, let's talk about this. We need to set up a date, not, hey, I arbitrarily decided I have free time today. Drive out to meet me so I could fuck you up. Hey, JD. Excuse me.
Hey, Hannah, the whole luncheon thing from who?
The whole what?
Luncheon.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sending you a message from him right now. That's for later. That's for later.
All right. Oh, what time are you guys gonna get here, by the way?
I gotta talk to Red.
Figure that out.
It'll be pretty late at night, because my mother-in-law doesn't get off of work until about 6:30. So I'll have to. My son will get out of school around 3:30, and we won't leave until around after like 6:30.
Okay.
So that
So you guys should be here probably by 9 then.
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
10.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's not too late. Because I was gonna say there's a place. Since you like Louisiana food, or Southern cooking, there's a restaurant in the neighborhood. That is actually quite famous for that. And I was thinking it's good to grab dinner first. That way, since it's not expensive like in the city, we can be full and then decide to get nummies on the way there. But it's not a requirement, as opposed to eating in the city. This is the first day. I don't want you to blow money for nothing yet.
That's acceptable. What's the name
See, Ronnie, this is how you plan something. You see, we made a time. We got a date going, right? We got two people coming. We agreed at a place to meet up. Yeah.
Don't say.
And after that, you guys can drive the 11 hours to Chicago but you can't come, Hannah. You have to stay. There's only drag alone for 11 hours in the car to go and maybe find a guy who might be there, might have just been fucking with him. Totally worth it. And what are the odds that he actually shows up today? If you let's say for the sake of argument, you decide to fly out there because you're an idiot and land there and go to there at the time, what are the chances he'd actually be there?
Slim to fucking none.
Yeah, I think he has me blocked, doesn't he?
He might. I mean, if he does, he needs to tag me and say something. But I'm checking my feed right now, and I've not heard hide nor hair from him.
I gotta say, he's been good about not blocking people ever since his there's like the long block period where he had most of Google Plus blocked for like a year and a half. He's been kind of better about it recently, so I'd assume he doesn't have you blocked.
I don't know, because
he does have a lot of people blocked on his YouTube channel. Like most people can't come.
Because I'm getting ready to go out, so I'm kind of moving around. But he still thinks I'm a liar, hacker, snake in the grass, poisoning. What am I? Muddying the waters to poison the well type of person.
I mean, this is a guy. He could find flaws with fucking Jackie. I mean, he looks for anything he can hang on to. If he can't find it, he'll just make some shit up.
No, he really, in all honesty, there is not a single objection that he should have, but he finds something.
Oh yeah? What about JFK, huh? We don't know who did it. Could have been you.
Could have been me. I wasn't even born at that time, but fuck it, you never know.
Could have a time machine, who knows?
No, fuck that. I did that as a sperm cell in my dad's 12-year-old dick. Straight shooter, as they like to call me.
Wait, 12-year-old dick?
Yes.
What?
I believe he was 12 at the time.
That's interesting. Okay. That's a story for another time.
You do better with like your mom's eggs, since the sperm keep regenerating and the eggs are always there.
Drag, you know I am pulling a number out of my ass, right?
Oh. I was like, hold on. No, you got me at that. I was like, wait. My brain's fried. I had my calculus final. You know what? I will take a C at this point and love it and walk the fuck away.
No, when I heard JD giggle, but when you asked me the question, I'm like, no, I'm gonna take this seriously. Let's see what Drag says.
No, I thought you were serious. I was like, wait, hold on, 12? Well, I've heard some young fathers and whatnot, but damn.
Well, it's a common tactic, and not just among evangelicals, of if someone has a view contrary to yours, try and find a flaw. If you can't find a flaw in their position, try and find a flaw in them. It's not rational, but it's common. So, obviously, Hannah, you are an agnostic. You are not a Christian or creationist or intelligent design advocate. Therefore, there's got to be something wrong with you, because any argument you've presented, he doesn't have anything against.
Well, the thing is more than half the time, and I'm saying more than half the time, it's really 99.99% of the time. But, I'm going to try to be charitable. When he makes an argument for anything, even a scientific claim, it doesn't have any basis in logic. I don't need to know a single thing about evolution to tell him he's full of shit.
You could have just stopped it. It has no basis, and then stop there.
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's so rare to even hear him form an actual argument. Like you said, 99% of the time, he starts with a few interesting factoids, like, DNA is nifty. And it doesn't go for, oh, great, therefore what? He never gets to the therefore part. He never finishes the sentence. doesn't finish the argument. He just kind of starts with here's some propositions. Here's premise 1, premise 2.
No, JD.
And
To be
atheists
fair,
are poo-poo
DNA
heads.
is very complex. Okay, look at how complex it is. Like, can you explain the complexity? I can't. Look at that shit. That shit is tough to do. That's complex shit right there.
You know how long it took me to decipher? Like, I wrote the transcript, and then it took me almost another week to decipher what he actually meant.
I do not know. It's complex.
All he's saying is DNA is nifty.
Well, no, there's a demarcation, because when remember he kept using it's not just chemicals. I want to say it was not just chemicals, or it's not just something. God damn it, where's my transcript?
What else is there supposed to be? Magic?
Well, that was the contention when he just said it's not just blank. Well, where's the line? So what I figured out was what he was saying is when it becomes a macromolecule, that means it's more than just like H2O, like a simple molecule, you know. So H2O compared to DNA.
That is just so trivial, though. That was it.
Yeah, that was literally, not just chemistry. That's what he meant.
Still, he can't speak fucking English. Why do we have to fucking spend a week on a transcript to figure out something so simple?
Yeah, and that was pointed out to him, and he ignored it. So when I was learning this shit, there was no demarcation made between just chemistry and anything. It's all fucking chemistry. Like it's all contained within, you know, that category. But if you want to say that, well, it's oh, I know. Okay, here's so molecules, right? They have different structures. You can have a primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure. Those are attributes that molecules can have, right? But they're still it's still all chemistry. It doesn't stop being chemistry. For what Ronnie sees in chemistry and he sees happening in biology, he thinks that these types of structures are something magical, and he attributes some type of magical quality to them that it just isn't there. And
it's just so. I mean, it like you said, it's such a trivial. Well, I said that it's such a trivial point. Like, you know, like the human body is not just chemistry. Yes, and a chair is not just wood. So fucking what? You know, there's still no actual argument there. It's just quibbling over a trivial point.
Yeah.
Has he messaged you yet?
Nope. I'm still waiting. No emails. No.
You don't have
nothing
him?
in my feed.
You don't have him on like an instant messenger site app or whatever, like Google Hangouts, the external chat or something, or a private
Remember
message?
when he said he'd be there, 4:30? He didn't say how he was getting there. He's been walking since last night.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I have it switched to the old Google Plus, and I'm looking at my side chat right now, and I don't see anything. I have the Google notifications open. I hit mention.
He's on some decrepit bus route.
I guess I don't see anything from him, and this is the third time.
Where? He's on a decrepit bus route. Where?
Well, he mentioned the city. That's close enough, right? You can just kind of look around.
Oddly, yeah, that's it. He's gonna wander around the city, hoping that they have an open gym that allows them to use their ring.
Right. So Drag, he's made the drive, and he told you the city. You just need to fly out there, wander around the city till you run into him. Hopefully by 4:30, and then you guys can kick each other's asses. That's reasonable. He's being reasonable. Why are you guys having such a problem with this?
Yeah, my teleporter is broken right now.
But you know what he's gonna say.
Where would you even teleport to? You don't have coordinates.
Right. This is seriously what he's gonna say. He's gonna say, "Listen, I showed up, right? I was ready to go. I had everything. You know, I got the car gas stuff. I got my boxing smash on, right? I got everything ready, and Drag didn't show up.
That's what's gonna happen.
I have a
Proclaim
feeling.
himself the winner.
Even if you were to teleport there, you'd still need to set your tricorder for lower life forms to find Ronnie.
So, hey, folks. So when Ronnie starts doing this, hashtag bitch made Ronnie. All right, because you know it's fucking coming. This is the third time I have given him an open invitation to communicate with me, and he's refused. So when he starts this, oh well, I went there and I drove, even though I didn't get confirmation from the other fucking party, and I ignored his tagging and his multiple posting of the link and means of communication, I'm going to proclaim myself the fucking winner. So that it's so sad that it has to come to this. But like I said before, this is exactly what I was showing. This is why I hyped it up this much, because I call this fucking bluff. You know that G-Man thinks that I started this with True?
Yeah, I heard.
Yep. Don't know how. You would think that they talk to each other. Or something. Well, you know what? When I'm having sex with someone, I talk to them. But I don't know about G-Man and True. So, I could be wrong. Oh my goodness. You know, maybe
Still nothing.
nope. Maybe Ronnie just I don't know. maybe he caught the lunch rush. Well, actually, you know what? Because he's still on the. Is Illinois Central or Eastern?
It's central, isn't it?
Is it? Because it's like I looked on a map and it looks like it's central, but it's kind of right there on the border.
I think it's central. It's an hour behind me.
It's an hour behind. So it's 2 here. He might just be getting the end of the lunch rush right now. So it's probably okay. Yeah, Sam said it's central. So he's probably at the ass end of the lunch rush. So he's probably like swamped right now. So it'd probably be best if I gave him some more time.
But what, like, for what? Like, he just started talking shit how many hours ago?
It was at 11:50 my time.
Right, it's 12:15 our time, right? That is not that long. And he's talking shit. I don't get it. And he was supposed to go to this random fucking city by what, 4? Did he say by 4, I think? Or 3?
Right. Yeah. 4:30.
This makes this like I can't understand the severity of the retardedness in that post. I don't understand. I don't speak retarded. I act retarded sometimes, and granted, I give an impression that I'm retarded at times, but I can't, like, to consistently live in Ronnie's world. I don't understand.
It makes you really wonder how he operates on a day-to-day basis.
What the fuck does he say this to his significant other if he has one?
I doubt it.
Hey, I'm gonna see you in 5 minutes.
I would
see
be
me where?
Genuinely surprised.
Can you link in the side chat the conversation? Because look, he might have me blocked. I tried looking for him and couldn't find anything.
Hold on. Let me.
I thought I saw it earlier.
It was on my channel or on my page. Okay, I found it. So let me blow it up and screen share. So just in case folks are just tuning in, here is what communications he's had with me so far.
You can link in the side chat too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I separated the name. Never mind. It's my fault. And
Found
there
it.
it is. There's the douchebag. Let's feed a dragon. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oops.
What?
Can't talk about date night.
Let's face it. In like a real fight, how fast would you take advantage of that hair?
I you know what? The second he got to me, I run my hand right through it. Like, you know what? I win, motherfucker. You can hit me all you want. I'm running my hands through that fucking hair.
I was thinking more of an offensive way, but sure. You're also like, oh, that's really nice. He really conditions. He conditions well. Is that panty? No, that's bedhead. That's the good stuff.
No, just talk dirty to him.
Whisper sweet nothings. Tell you, you know what? You think I'm kidding, Ronnie? We fight. I'm running my hands through your hair. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, I was thinking more along lines of like, once you're done, you then make a grip of it. And like, this is a nice thing to hold on to. With.
Yeah, he'd probably try and go for my goatee, fucker.
You know,
Listen, Brad, you should have.
like a Sorry, go ahead.
You have to shave that shit if you don't want it to be gone.
Yeah, that's true. I could grow it back pretty fast. So it'll smell like grease.
Yeah, it's like if you're in like a real fight, I mean, obviously there's rules in mixed martial arts and boxing, but if you're just having a street fight, you there's no
I don't
honor in that.
understand.
You just do what you got to do.
So you're just gonna like box him?
Well, I was going to talk to him and see, well, you know what, if we want one round of boxing, could we do another round or like a second round with like MMA style? So since his forte is boxing and mine is more MMA, it'll be a bit more fair.
Do we actually think he has a forte in anything?
No.
Or that he just,
The thing is,
I know a
if
boxing
I were to
dude.
box anybody, if I were to box anybody, chances are I'm gonna lose because that's not my area, right? I don't deal.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's smart for him to try and do something he feels confident at, which I have no problem. That's why I didn't deny him. But the stipulation is that, well, if you're good at that and we're matching, physical prowess, then I'm really good at using my entire body to show physical prowess. So, let's make it a little bit more even here. But I didn't tell him my boxing history, and I've not mentioned to anyone about anything with me in boxing, and that's kind of something I wanted. That's something that I wanted him to find out for himself.
Yeah, it just seems, I mean, I don't know. So challenging someone to something that you're good at and they might not be seems kind of lame. Like, challenge someone to a fight, fine. That's generic. You can do whatever you want. So, but saying, oh, I want a boxing match because I had to be let's imagine like in this weird alternate universe, he's like a golden gloves champ. That's challenging someone who isn't like a skilled boxer. Just like, why? You just want to beat up on someone who doesn't have the skills? Like every time
you say something with like Telemundo.
We do this every day. We challenge him on biology, so maybe it's fair.
Yeah, no, his trainer was on Telemundo, and I should be intimidated by that. Oh, that and he got in a fight with some punk Latin King gang member or something like that. That was his latest video, like 4 or 5 hours ago.
I've been in dozens of fights, but whoop-de-doo. Like, what? You're not supposed to be proud of that. You should be like, oh, I probably should have handled those better.
Yeah, I mean, you look back and you go, well, you know what? It probably shouldn't escalate that far, but it was. I guess he thinks that's his way of intimidating me. Like, he doesn't understand that there's kind of nothing that compares to being in the military. I hate to say it, but you can be in a gang all your life, but the U.S. military is the biggest gang there is. It's not a joke. Like, we say that we are the biggest gang there is. We have our own colors. We roll together with crews. We have gang rivalries, and we kill people. Like that. It is what it is.
It's just so. I mean, in my youth, I got into fights. But that's not something. I'm freaking 38 now. That just seems like not something you do at that age. Like, okay, that's in the past. Back when I was a moron. Now I'm not, and so I don't get into fights with people because that's stupid.
Because we're grown adults and we don't fight.
But then there's
to solve our differences.
There's the wrestling fans, G-Man and Ronnie and friends. Like, yeah, I'll take you down. No quick match. If I win, I'm right about intelligent design.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. The Latin Kings, they do have a branch in Chicago.
It's like 3 guys.
Oh, it's actually rooted in its roots date back to 1943 in Chicago, Illinois, where it developed from the Puerto Rican community. That's interesting. Modern times have a great influence in Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela. Yeah.
See, my bit would have been funnier. Like, there's like 3 guys. Like, Jose, go up to Chicago. All right, fine.
I'll
be back, guys. I gotta go pick up the daughter.
Run. So what should we do to like satisfy Ronnie at this point? It's like, do I need to play $200 for him to get a plane ticket, like a round trip ticket from a situation where he's gonna get his ass kicked to home so he can lick his wounds, or does he have to drive? Like, what? It doesn't get more clear cut. You know what I mean? Like, you fucked up.
That's why I wanted to talk to him. I was like, well, if he needs some cash to fly over to New York, because that's whatever, and we could meet at. I think you said you had a gym or a place where you train, Hannah.
Yeah. You can do it at my gym. There's mats everywhere. There's no boxing ring, right? But there's mats everywhere for MMA.
That's
so
fine.
If he wants to do 1 round of boxing, that's fine. We'll just outline, like, I don't know, a certain specific area for boxing, and stepping outside of that would be like stepping outside the ring, whatever, you know.
Yeah, and that's fine. If he doesn't have enough money to fly down, I'll put up some money, for a round trip. He gets to see New York. He gets to, get his ass on the mat, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. And I'm pretty sure people would want to see it. And that was the original thing. When he mentioned fundraiser, I'm like, we could actually do this. And since then, it's just become like a pissing contest. And so once I upped the ante, and I said, you know what? One of my stipulations that I would really like is that you're going to be fighting like your life is on the line, and that even though there's somebody there to kind of manage it, if you're tapping, the other person doesn't want to stop, then hey, whatever happens, happens. That caused him to hesitate. That was what I was looking for, because that can very well happen in any fight. It doesn't matter if it's boxing. It doesn't matter if it's MMA. That can happen in any fight. That referee, that official being there does not mean shit. Because do you think there's a referee that could have stopped Mike Tyson if he decided he wanted to kill fucking Holyfield? Do you think that the scrawny dude would have stopped him? No. He stopped because he recognized that authority. So what I pointed out to Ronnie is that his confidence in his ability only went as far as his ability to brag about it. It didn't pan out.
You see, can you hear me, by the way? I just switched to my headphones.
Yeah.
If I'm just too loud or something, just let me know. But I thought the whole purpose of this was to be a friendly match. Didn't his video, did he take it down already, or it's still up?
I don't know. It might still be up. I haven't looked yet.
This is, I hate referring to a video that I don't know if everybody else can go back and watch it, because I don't know if he took it down or not. But didn't his video say it's a friendly match? It's just to kind of feel each other out and whatever. And here he is. And I'm not saying it's just him. I mean, if you're telling him he's going to fight like his life depended on it, I could see that as being a little bit over the top.
Yeah, no,
but,
I did that on purpose. That was the point of it. That was to show him that, you know what, the premise of this entire thing was built on the fact that an argument or a disagreement on the internet does not have to become a physical fight of any type. Because for him to say, well, this is just a friendly fight, it should not have been based on a comment that he mistook or he misunderstood. And so to sweeten the pot, he threw in the fact that, oh, we could make it a fundraiser. It was never about a friendly competition, even though he says it was. And so I said, well, I see right fucking through that. I agree with you, Brenda. It is a pissing contest, and it proved my point. Sometimes I have to do shit like that to prove my point. But overall, since he missed the fact that I said it doesn't have to be this way, there are better ways to go about doing things, and it should not come to this. Well, hey, maybe he needs to be emasculated to understand that.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in God knows how long. I think honestly the last time I talked to him, I still had my full-time job at the startup. That was a while ago. That was like, what, 3-4 months?
Yeah. I mean, but, don't get me wrong. Even though I raised the stakes on him and he backed down like a bitch, that doesn't mean that I'm completely, opposed to having such a bout, but he needs to actually come and talk to me. And that,
it's about, I mean, the max, let's just play the hypotheticals out, because at this point we have nothing else to talk about. But if he were to come down to New York, that's about... If we don't buy the tickets on a good day, you're looking at about $200. You shouldn't pay more than $200 for a round trip.
Yeah, from Chicago.
So it's 200.
Yeah.
To LaGuardia. Mm-hmm. So LaGuardia is in Astoria. Well, it's in the neighborhood that you guys are going to be in. So if we go to my gym, which is in Brooklyn, then a fight can happen. Whatever, you guys deal with it as you choose to. Then we could go out ice skating. Get some ice for those wounds,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it can work out. Like, it can happen. It won't happen
tomorrow.
It's
not out of the question.
But like I said, folks, I did up the ante to kind of prove something to him. If he wants to talk big on the internet, when I raise the stakes and you back down, that kind of shows me how much that talk is. Like, that was the entire purpose of me doing that. And I honestly do fight like that. I do fight like I'm trying to kill someone. That part was not a joke. That part was not a bluff. That is dead serious. That's one of the reasons I don't do MMA now. One of the reasons I don't wrestle, because I will try and kill my opponent. That's a part of the indoctrination that I have not gotten rid of, and so I abstain from fighting. So, but if this were to be an actual event, I would do my best, agree to the rules, stipulations, or whatever. But I can't talk about it. I can't make any type of plans or train or get anything in order if he's not here to talk about it.
Yeah. The thing is, if he were to come to New York, I'd want a round. I really would. Anything beef against him, I would just, okay, you guys are doing their thing. I think he's like, have you ever watched Kung Fu Panda and they have that little training dummy in the dojo?
Mm-hmm. The one made of wood?
Yeah, like that one. The little balloon thing that when you hit it, it just bounces back. It's just there for training.
Oh yeah, the Bop It, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. I think Ronnie would make a good Bop It.
He might.
Right, because he said he's. I don't think he's not physically fit. Right, if he says that he trains, so he's not. At least I know that much. So I don't have to worry about hurting him so much. I can let loose a little bit, and I want to see if I still have a good armbar. Because I remember I was a big Ronda Rousey fan. I used to practice that because I thought I was cool shit. So I had some trouble mounting, but other than that, I was pretty good. So I'd like to practice on him.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. I'd watch it.
Yeah, like if he's gonna try to fight fists, then if I get hit, I'm not a good boxer, definitely not. But I can take a hit. So if he wants to do it that way, that's fine. It's just the second I take him down to the floor, he's mine.
Yeah, that's basically why I said, well, have one round of boxing, one round of MMA style fighting, because believe it or not, the ground is where I love to be, and get down.
It's more fun.
It is. You can do so much more. There's so much more stuff to do, in my opinion.
I mean, I forgot what the term is now. It's just been so long since I've done any judo work. When you have the person to the knees, they have one knee that's basically where their center of gravity is centered to, right? So their weight is on one knee, and they're just stabilizing with the other. Oh, I love when that happens. I love when I'm on top of somebody like that. Because they're trying to stop themselves from going to the ground, because they know what's going to happen if it does. But they're in a position where the only thing that's free is their arms, and if I have their arms, they could just hold them there and put them in a stress position. And that is so terrible on the knees. It is absolutely, ugh.
I'm trying to remember.
I can mess your knee up.
I'm trying to remember what that's called, because I remember someone putting their knee
in someone's ass. Yeah, there's a name for that. It's
been so long.
Yeah. But,
yes, Hannah says she likes to be on top. Yes, you heard that right.
No, stop. And again, I don't have a beef with him or anything. I wouldn't do this out of malice or anything. It's just go-to right now is not fighting. It's not a fighting gym. But there's mats everywhere, so I can't practice. I used to do judo way back in the day, so I can't practice with anybody there because I don't want to hurt anybody. And there's people are there for all different reasons and not for fighting. So if there's somebody that I know can take it, then I can let loose, and that'll be fun.
You just want to knee someone in the ass.
No, I mean, that too, but amongst other things.
Yep, see, I know.
Yeah.
Like to be on top, so I can kick them in the ass. That's exactly what that is. I'm not stupid. Everyone's loving your "I like to be on top" comment.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Beasley's over there losing his shit.
Oh God, you're so mean to me. I don't know why you didn't warn me about it. I've been stressed out these past 2 weeks. Shit's been going on. Plus, with Gus being in the hospital, is I'm trying to get finances together, and I don't have much to donate, so I'm trying to get everybody else to donate. And I'm so it's just shit. I'm in a really bad spot. And then you introduced me to this fucker named Beasley.
That was my fault. I forgot to ease you into Beasley.
So mean,
what, it's
man.
Fuckhead in here? Or are you talking about TSD?
Oh no. Beasley
hey, Shadow.
He sniped me the other day. I blocked all of Beasley's accounts.
Yeah, it was really bad timing to introduce someone like Beasley to me. So now I feel terrible.
No, don't. He's a terrible person. No. Terrible
He's a
fucking
terrible person. He's got a mental disorder. He's sick in the head, literally sick in the head. I just picked on a guy with a disability. That's like me pulling away someone's, crutches.
Here's the thing. Now, I understand the whole metaphor of pulling away somebody's crutches, but if that person with crutches is going down the hallway of a hospital and smacking people in the shins, at what point do you take away their crutches?
Okay, that's fair.
Because here's what he did. He's basically, what happens is he sits there, he goes in, he spends some time in there, he gets the fuck out, and then he stops taking his meds. And then he descends down and down and down and down and ends up having to be thrown back in. And then he gets out and he stops taking his meds and he goes down, 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 down. And this just keeps fucking repeating. Yep. At what point do you kind of hit that enough is enough level?
And he's convinced that I destroyed his family. Not sure how, but I destroyed his family.
Wasn't that Von Helton with Secular? Like, he's convinced that Secular took down his family too.
Well, well, actually, it is very similar. Now that you mention that, it is very, very similar. But Von Helton is
Von Helton's delusional, and Beasley's paranoid delusional.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that I did contribute to trolling Beasley. He would screen share the chat. I'd put up like a big old dick picture or something like that, and then video would get flagged, and so yeah. But he keep doing it, like. So I guess it was good for the goose, good for the gander. So I can't be too mad at him sniping me. So.
He tried to join one of my off airs yesterday, and I think actually the day before. And I let him in for a second, and I'm like, listen, Beasley, I have nothing to say to you. Just wanted to let you know that, and then threw him the fuck out.
Good.
And with mine, because it's the corporate thing, and I'm streaming from them, there isn't jack shit you can do about sniping or any of that crap.
Oh, so you couldn't try it you couldn't do it even if you tried.
Man, you fucking darn. It didn't matter. The thing is, if you want to start using streaming software, let me know, man. I'll hook you up with the moderator account.
Ooh.
Because I do. Don't you start.
I'll show you how to use one. I'll show you how to do one of the off-air rooms. You just need to get yourself set up with some streaming software to stream direct.
OBS.
And learn how to lock the fucking room before you hit 25 people in it, because that gets to be a bitch.
Oh, jeez. I have what I've been doing, Shadow, is I'll have Twitch on, and I have Twitch on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull up the page for Twitch and then screen share that in Google Plus. I'm not sure if there's an easier way to do it.
I mean, I don't actually. Basically, if you're in a Hangout and streaming the Hangout to your channel, you already know how to do it.
Oh, okay. No, but there may be less.
If you're using the Hangout to do the live broadcast part, then you're kind of fucked. You got to do something else.
So how long has Beasley not been in the community? Like he took a hiatus and then came back, or?
He had been committed for, I don't know, I'd have to look to see. Okay, I actually let me find out exactly when he was committed, because I was in the position of recording it.
Everybody's telling me there's a video out there of him on live out in air getting committed, like taken away forcibly.
Being taken away? Yeah, I've got it.
Yes. Oh, that's who has it.
It's an unlisted video. It's actually, for an unlisted video, it has a fuck ton of hits, but it's mine.
Oh, nice.
Tried sexually harassing the woman that was doing my editing at the time, and she's like, "Oh, he thinks that he can get me in a Hangout and get me to just show him my tits by saying, 'Show us your tits.' Oh, let's play with this asshole." Like, okay. So we got it set up to record, and that happened to be the day they showed up to drag his ass away.
Yep.
Kinda.
Hannah, I lowered your volume a little bit because you're picking up the wind.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm walking outside. I don't understand how Jack he doesn't pick it up, but I do, and I'm walking, and he's on a bike. I never understand that. And apparently he has the same headphones I do, so I don't get this.
My connection's really bad, or she's just gone to like full robot.
Yeah, she's disconnecting just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Long story.
Bad connection.
Well, long story short, Shadow. Actually, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So I made a comment toward G-Man in a video. Say, hey, I am one of these people who can fuck someone up in real life. So when you say that everyone behind a keyboard is a keyboard warrior, that's not true. And it should not have to escalate to that point ever, because this is the internet. If you feel that, you know, that is the right course of action to take because someone disagreed with you on the internet, then you don't need to be on the internet. That was the statement that I made. And so Ronnie took half of that statement and said, I can fuck you up in real life, and said, how about this, Dragnon? How about we have a friendly bout? We can do it for a fundraiser, but, you know, you talk big, but, you know, I want to show you. I'm going to put you on your ass. And he starts, like, bloviating and shit. So I said, okay. He cut off what I said in the middle of it. You can hear me going into, you know, the but, and just ignored it, just right then and there. And I said, he doesn't understand at all what I was getting at. I said, okay, I'll make an example out of him. And so there's a few videos, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 that I made, where I told him, if you fight, I have a stipulation or two. One of the fights is going to be an MMA type fight. Since you excel at boxing, supposedly, I excel at more of the modern army combatives, which is closer to MMA. And you will be fighting like your life is on the line. And so there's quite a few people who didn't enjoy that particular stipulation, and I'm explaining to folks now that I made that to prove my point. When I fight personally, just for me, it will be like your life is on the line. That's how I was trained. That's how I will probably always continue to fight, unless there's a great degree of restraint for me, and there's somebody there that can officiate it, that knows, you know, when to say, hey, you know, break it up. So that was the entire purpose of me doing that. And I'm not opposed to having an actual bout with him, but this was under the guise that this was supposed to somehow help Gus. But then it became, of course, what he wanted it to be, another dick swinging contest or another pissing contest. And he bitched out. The second I brought up that stipulation, like his life may be on the line, his confidence level dropped. And so for me, if you feel so confident in your ability, why should the threat of death deter you?
Well, he didn't bitch out. He's just showing up to some unmarked location in some vague city 1 hour out of Chicago, where you're supposed to magically meet him and find a gym where you guys can go at it.
Oh yes, that's the best part. That is the best part, Shadow.
There aren't that many gyms around like that anymore, are there?
That's well, it's weird,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
it
even
went
if you
from
want like a
fight-
straight boxing match or MMA match or what have you, I mean, there just aren't that many gyms around anymore. There used to be years ago, but they're fucking hard to find now, aren't they?
They're few and far between. My gym, I have guest passes, right? We have an area that's heavily matted, so in case you want to do any kind of work there, you can do it, right? So whether it's physical work or, you know, just stretching or whatever. So that's more than adequate for this type of MMA. For boxing, it's not really good for that. But I have guest passes, so, you know, so long as you're under my name, you know, you guys can come in. And I don't mind putting Ronnie under my name. I mean, just for the extra guests, it probably cost me just $5, $10 to get him in.
Wait, I'm confused. Is this G-Man or is this Ronnie you're fighting in that track?
This is Ronnie.
I'm
I made a video.
So I'll see you guys later.
See ya. I made a video to
I don't know.
G-Man addressing something G-Man said, and Ronnie took offense to it personally and challenged me to a fight.
How about this? Street Fighter 4 over PSN Network. How about that? That sounds more realistic.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that would be more of a actual challenge. You may be able to beat me there.
Something incredibly rude for the moment, but I don't know. After listening to Panda talk about knocking somebody around in the mats there, I don't know. I think I'd sign up. Anyway, just saying.
You know, I might challenge her on that. You know, because I'll be seeing her tomorrow, so we'll see. I got your number, Hannah. I'm coming for you.
Why is it only the like happily married guys that make these jokes these days? I don't know. I guess we're the only ones that aren't afraid to, because we know we won't be taken fucking seriously.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. But
yeah, I'm starting to think I might have it on the actual 13 Shadow. Crap, I gotta say, hang on, I have to go sign paperwork again. God damn it.
Drag your last upload where it was like the future of fast food. I thought we were going to do a social commentary on basically how, you know, Amazon is doing like a grocery store that's going to have like no employees. That's what I took. That's where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah, I had to cut it short because I was running a little late this morning. I ended up forgetting one of my folders because I was trying to do that and then take my son to school. So yeah, that would be Balrog. Ha! I've never played Balrog. I suck at Balrog.
Damn dog.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Drake?
This is gonna be fun.
I'm actually almost tempted to get tickets over to New York if you do this, Drag.
Well, I'm not opposed to having like a legitimate like fight with him at all, but one of the things that I was showing is that he's not serious about this. And I opened this hangout. It's been open for well over an hour now, actually 2 hours.
Sounds like bravado.
It is. That's exactly what it is. He challenged me to meet him in Kankakee, Illinois, which is literally 11 and a half hours away from me. 11 and a half hours. And he says he can meet me there in an hour. Does that sound like the mind of a person who is thinking very straight?
No, I mean, the other problem is, I mean, you know, he's making a lot of claims of having a boxing background, but
my connection's been a little in and out wonky. Sorry if I've talked over anyone so far. But Drag, is this Ronnie you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that fucking moron.
You only have to look at his nose to say that he has not got a boxing background.
Someone else mentioned that too. They said he'd have like a deviated septum or something to that effect.
If he's gone and he's done even amateur boxing with head guards, and he's done a number of bouts, he would not have that nose. Sorry, that nose is just too perfect to break.
It's too perfect to break, yes.
It's like a person saying they have a mixed martial arts background and not having cauliflower ears. You know, it kind of goes with that.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of rugby, and because I was on the left-hand side of the scrum, my right ear is about 3 times thicker than my left ear.
Yeah, there are scars from,
Yeah.
when you go through certain things, especially for an extended period of time. But he claims that he's this like super, but you know what? This is not the first time Ronnie has made these outrageous claims that he expects people to believe. Remember when he told everyone that he had a master's degree in organic chemistry?
Really?
Yep.
That was foolish.
Yep. That was a while back.
Talking about fighting Sam ages ago.
I think he did mention fighting Sam, didn't he? He's in the chat right now. Sam, didn't he challenge you, or he just kind of passively said something about fighting Sam?
It was dick waving more than anything else, of course. But
yeah, no, he's definitely doing it here.
And I do find it funny that people will do that kind of shit on the internet. Because, you don't get into a fight. I mean, that's one thing I really actually agree with what you said, Dragon, is the fact that you don't get a fight over this. You don't get that wound up over this shit. Where you need to threaten people. I mean, the same as the G-Man. Oh, I'm going to dox everybody because I've doxed myself.
Yeah, it's completely irrational, and it's like, well, and I was actually going to do a reflection video and kind of explain to folks, why I made that stipulation and why I'm raising the stakes, and to show that this is exactly illustrating what I was talking about. If he were to act like, let's say, if I didn't have the restraint that I had, and he was, if he was to fight one of my
no, we can't hear you, Matt.
Sorry, oh yeah, that's fine. If he were to fight one of my buddies who has a lot less restraint than I do, one of my infantry friends who thinks a lot like me, they would fuck him up bad. Like, some of these guys have killed people, legitimate. They have verified kill counts, and that he would find himself in a very precarious situation, because just because they were once in the military doesn't mean that they still have that level of restraint that I do. And so once you put that into perspective, randomly challenging people on the internet can be a lot like randomly challenging someone in a bar, and you can get seriously injured.
I mean, I'll give you my example. I did judo for nearly 12 years. I did jiu-jitsu for nearly 7 years. And I did karate for about 9 years, mostly in parallel because I kind of got really into that shit, mainly because of Eastern philosophy and culture, which I kind of was quite into for a while. And, you know, I can say, yeah, you know, I've been graded, I've done competitions, I've, you know, got up to blue belt in judo, purple in karate. I was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So, you know, I've had a reasonably good amount of training. But there is a whole load of difference between having a structured competition and getting in a fight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and that's what I kind of pointed out to him, that the type of the type of martial arts that I was trained for was for combat. That was to save your life, and you either subdue or kill your opponent, and that's why that stipulation came up, because that is my skill set. And so if he's if he feels uncomfortable with that stipulation, well, that's something that he should have taken into account before randomly challenging someone to a fight, because you don't know. Like, if I randomly pick a fight with someone, I don't know their skill set.
Well, that's why using more of an MMA sort of rule set, if you want to have something that's relatively structured, would be much more realistic. There are many boxers that do MMA. There are many ground fighters, jiu-jitsu, people that do MMA. And there are many people that do a mixed martial art to accomplish both goals, which is the stand-up and the ground work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know if I get somebody on the ground and they don't know what they're doing, I'm much, much better than if I'm standing up.
Yeah, see, if I'm on the ground, then that's where I feel that I'm the strongest. Because I mean, if I clinch up, I have a tendency to lift my opponent up if I'm a bit taller than them. And I did it quite a few times to my first sergeant, who was this little short Filipino guy. And I did it without, you know, really realizing it. And I had to keep going through the punch drill over and over, because for some reason I kept picking him up. And so you kind of learn how your body reacts in those scenarios.
And also, being a tall person, you have problems, especially when someone's trying to throw you, because your center of gravity is much higher.
Yeah, that was one of the good things about being this big, but then it does make certain techniques a bit difficult. Some of the crazy stuff that I see my my instructors and some of the level 2 guys do, I wish I could have done like that. It takes an amazing amount of dexterity, and I have so much respect for them, but my big ass can't do that. It's just limitations.
Well, it's harder to throw someone with a lower center of gravity than you are. That's just basic physics.
Yeah,
and it's easier to counter if someone tries to throw you if you're shorter. You know, especially in judo. In judo, the people that do really, really well in judo tend to be the sub 6 foot tall but about 5 foot wide people.
Yeah, you know, one of the during my actual level 1 training. Which, by the way, folks, there are 4 levels. Level 1's like the entry level, and I never got past level 1.
That means you didn't do any knife fighting.
No knife fighting. No, I didn't get to level 2. You're taught strikes, like legit strikes. But like with level 1, one of the things you'll do is you have to kind of it's a weird sumo like drill that you do, and you have to throw the other person out of this ring. And so the person I had a problem with was a female. Now, this female probably stood 5'6", and she had a low center of gravity. So what she did was she got up underneath me and hoisted me up. And I was like, how is this female lifting up almost over 250 something pounds? And it was because she used my weight against me. And it was, like you say, it's simple physics. And you have a newfound respect for the human body and for, physics in general, because manipulating that and using that to your advantage, can, make you the winner.
Yeah, no, it's gravity and center of gravity and mass. It's the two things that kind of do you favors. Which is why if you've got a heavier person with the same center of gravity, they'll generally win. In a judo match, specifically.
But Dress, how do you account for that?
I account for it with my ass being on the ground 9 times out of 10.
I'd much rather see a Ronnie versus G-Man fight. I think that would do Buffalo box office, actually.
I think that would be an interesting matchup. G-Man would dance around him.
Exactly.
What would actually be fun is an idiots versus rationalists tag team competition.
Oh God. Somebody said in the chat that they would rather have a debate like with me and G-Man and me and True in a museum, just kind of going through and discussing some of the stuff in the museum. That'd be interesting.
That actually would. That is a really class idea.
And I would prefer that honestly, because the closest thing I've had to that is a kind of a live discussion or an impromptu discussion with an instructor at my college up the street, and so he and I were discussing matters of the theological, and it got a little contentious, but it was good, free-spirited kind of conversation that sadly got interrupted because he needed to tutor one of the people who came in the math lab.
Well, if you're going to go to Chicago, there's no way you're going to go up there and not like rope Arcane into this. He's got to be involved somehow.
He threw his fucking hat in the ring in the TST chat, say, "Oh, I'd fight Drag," and I'm like, okay. I knew he was going to come around eventually because he does have this weird man crush on me. I don't know what it is, but he kind of feels the need that when I leave him alone, he'll come back and kind of taunt me, and then when I fuck with him, he gets all upset, so I'll leave him alone again. It's really odd, but I don't know what to say about Arcane. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, I'm just going to say for Drake, if you're looking for a good mic, I really like the Samson Meteors. They're really nice mics. They're not too expensive, not as expensive as the blue one, and I think they're great value for money. And the USB, which means they tend to work a bit better too. So that's just my shout out to Drake.
The thing is, under the right circumstances for the right charity, I'd be more than happy to fight Drag. I mean, hell, why not? I mean, it would just be a matter of getting gloves that were made entirely of pillows that were about 3 feet wide.
Yeah, those big what do they call bafo?
It'd be more of a novelty than anything else. But if it's for charity, who cares? It's for the spectacle of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To try and beat the crap out of somebody.
Do you know the most evil way I ever actually won a judo match? It was guy was better than me, much better than me. I just happened to know the fact that he had really tickly ribs.
Come on.
I'm not joking.
Did you tickle him?
Because you normally go in for a clinch, so you normally grab him around the back of the neck and you grab him the side of the gi or the belt. So most people grab the belt. I didn't. I grabbed his ribs.
Wow, that's smart though. That's fucking smart.
Yeah, I bounced him around a bit. It's quite fun. Gotta love a bit of Oso Togoshi.
I don't think he was too happy about that, was he?
No, he was very unhappy, and our next meeting wasn't quite to the way that I hoped. He then got to toss me around like a pancake. And he did it purposely so he could actually do groundwork. And that's where he was really good.
Brought you to his arena.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll probably turn on my stream in about 30 minutes. Well, I gotta go pick up my son in about half an hour, and then I'll probably turn on my stream after that, play some Final Fantasy or something, and just have a nice friendly chat, because this has been entertaining.
Well, I still want to know who's going to win the Idiot of the Year competition.
Last night, Steve McRae and I and a few others, we held a little, vote for Ronnie hangout, live hangout, and it was neck and neck still, even afterwards.
Wow. I have to say, my vote is with DD.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that there are people who are voting for both, and it's so close, and it keeps getting like closer and closer. So I'm genuinely curious who will win it. It's actually pretty exciting.
I'm actually hoping if it's between DD and Ronnie, I'm hoping for a draw, and they both get a trophy.
That could work. That we could definitely do that.
Well, it's different forms of dumb fuckery. That's why it's a compelling race, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's Sam was in here earlier saying that it's a different type of dumb fuck that you have to apply to each person, because Darwin's deity is not like dumb. He's not ignorant, but he is intentionally dense, and he's a dickhole, and so he is a dumb fuck. But Ronnie Ronnie genuinely is dumb. Like, he fucks so much shit up, and he just has no ability to actually see his own actions and his own mistakes, that it legitimately makes him a dumb fuck.
Well, is he really dumb? Because he obviously puts a lot of time into this. It's just, it's like misguided. That's what it is to me. It's not, I don't know if he's dumb. I don't know. Like, if he takes,
he said DNA degraded in water.
Right, but it's like I don't know. It's like, obviously he's put time into it, right? But it's like he selectively looks at things. So it's like you have the skill set to be able to do legitimate, like, reading and comprehension, but you choose to focus on things that are not right. I don't know. It's a weird way to. I don't know. It's hard to say what. It's not dumb. It's not dumb. A dumb person just doesn't put the effort in. They can't read and comprehend. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, he puts a lot of effort into being wrong. Like, that's kind of what you're saying.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've actually said that before too, now that you mention it. And it is weird, because you have to wonder, is he just perpetually wrong, or is he just lying? Because it's like, would someone really try this hard to just bullshit? Or it's so weird. I'm at a loss for that.
Unless he, like, monetizes it. Is like I think, Alex Jones, the conspiracy guy, puts a lot of effort into being wrong, but it's lucrative, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. That kind of movement where you can, like, get views, and maybe he feels like he gets notoriety from being, like, the go-to guy for the young Earth creationists on science, and I don't know.
Well, he doesn't get enough views to actually garner any type of revenue. I mean, he did kind of fancy himself like this. He doesn't. I'll say that, because at times he'll go, I know so much more about X, Y, and Z than anyone else. And then other times he's like, well, I'm just some Yahoo. So he'll play it up depending on what the narrative needs to be at the time. But his facade, a part of it is having some proficiency, at least, in science at least, but he will try to angle his assertions along some piece of misinterpreted fucking science, but the way that he gets to his conclusions are completely fucking illogical, and he can't back them up. So what he puts more of an effort into is simply combating the refutations he'll get, but not actually substantiating the claims themselves.
Which to me takes an intelligence to know, like, what an argument it is, and then to look for the refutation of it. There's he's not jungle jargon, right? That's a different kind of.
To some degree he is, because did you watch the conversation he had with Negation of P?
No, I have. Jungle jargon or
no, True Empiricism. True Empiricism.
No, is that recent?
No, this happened months ago, way earlier this year. And so, long story short, we'll usually combat True on his terms, complexity, whatever. Like, how is this complex? We'll argue that with him. But Ned, the Negation of P, granted him every single premise, every one of them, and said, okay, now demonstrate how you got to that conclusion. And he could not. All he did was repeat them. And Ned had to keep saying, I grant you literally every premise that you just stated. I got that. That's not a problem. And so then he became belligerent, because what he had effectively done was prepare responses for what he thought were refutations. And instead, Ned just said, no, I'm going to accept them. Now I want you to demonstrate.
So what's the answer? Crack open a Bible? I don't. What?
No, literally every single response was restating his assertion. Yeah, that's literally the entire conversation. It was the same one where I called him a retard and he got pissed off and blocked me. But it's in case you were wondering, that's that same conversation. But yeah, dude, it was amazing, because I hadn't, Ned finally saw it. Ned said, you know what? I noticed something about his argument. It doesn't go anywhere. And Ned explained it afterwards. None of his arguments go anywhere. They're bare assertions.
That's what I always thought about the creationist movement. But Matt Bell was like, no. It puts, across its own theories. I don't know that it does that. Or if Matt was actually telling the truth, but he's I always thought the creationist movement, the ID, was just about poking holes in evolution type thing.
Creationist peer review is not that much difference to alcoholic wine tasting.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with the content. It's merely to do with the effect.
Okay. I got you. That's a good analogy. Yeah.
I mean, you can go
The
to
problem
ICR.
is if you're going to try to
Go ahead, Shadow. Hello?
I was waiting for my lag to stabilize. I was lagging for a second there. I was just going to say that you can't. It's really weird when people are trying to move the goalpost, but they can't find it to begin with.
That's actually a really good analogy. Yeah. Oh. Didn't even think about that. That's just so much good fucking analogies this week. Wish I could remember them all.
Well, most of them are recorded, so you're okay.
That's true, but I don't go back and watch my own stuff. I don't. People remind me. People keep saying, "Oh, Drag, you said such and such, such and such. It was hilarious," and I'm like, "I did."
Like, give me a fucking timestamp. When the fuck did I say that? I don't remember. I just said.
Yeah, you called Ronnie or you called G-Man a gremlin, and you said that he looks like. I legitimately forgot that I called him gremlin.
What was the one that had the spike? Was it Spike? What was that? What's the leader of the bad ones? There was Gizmo, right?
Spike, yeah.
Yeah. Gremlins. Wow.
But I think actually this is where you need to fall back on, more traditional views when people say stuff like that, Drag, and you say, "Can I have a citation and a timestamp for that, please?"
It's a citation bluffing.
No, but does the ID movement actually do research, right? Do they actually do like?
Well, they kind of do, but I mean, again, I'm a theist, so I'm in kind of a weird sort of space here. But I'm going to put my rational hat on.
Oh, hang on. There's an organization in Texas that is completely dedicated to researching creationism. It's the Creation Research Institute, for fuck's sake. But if you look at their budget, they put 90% of it to marketing, and the other percent they put to paying their people.
Damn you! That was where I was going.
Right.
The other problem
they haven't funded dick.
The other problem they have is that they're starting from the answer and trying to work backwards to the solution. And that's, to me, is where, from a scientific perspective, you have a problem, because that's not how you do science. You don't start from a proposition and then try and backfill the answer.
That's just it. They're not even starting really from a proposition. They're starting from attempting to influence public opinion. This isn't even an attempt to do science or to pretend to be doing science. This is all we're going to try and get legislation. You don't legislate science into being. I'm sorry. This is not. You don't legislate fact.
Well, their goal is to get creationism kind of taught alongside evolution, right? That's their goal, right?
Yeah. And not to do it through actual doing fucking science to legitimize their claims.
Well, that would be too much hard work.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah. And the kicker is there have been people apparently that have approached them and claimed to have some way to prove it, and said, like, if you give me X amount of money, yada yada, I'll do such and such study which will show. Apparently the Creation Research Institute doesn't even fucking believe them.
Well, that's what I was asking. I'm like, do they do like research that like a non-creationist place could go and like try to replicate? That's what I don't know.
They don't even do any that a creationist place with complete bullshit behind them could try to replicate. They don't want that. They're like, no. You think you're going to prove it? Somewhere deep down inside, they know there's no proof of this shit. Otherwise, they would be attempting to provide some proof or studies or something.
Well, I think what you'd find is they wouldn't be spending 90% of their budget on marketing.
Sorry, I was just reading something on Google Plus. What Steve shared about the first dinosaur tail preserved in amber. It's kind of exciting.
Found a what? Preserved in amber?
The first dinosaur tail perfectly preserved in amber from 99
Hey,
million
stop
years.
talking about my wife, motherfucker.
It's nice that you still describe her as tail.
Oh, this thing looks wonderful. A segment from a feathered tail of a dinosaur that lived 99 million years ago is preserved in amber. A Cretaceous era ant and plant debris were also trapped in the resin.
Ooh, we've got a link.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll put it in the outside chat so other folks can see it. This is beautiful. Ants have not changed that much in 99 million years, folks.
No, they haven't.
Isn't that evidence against evolution?
No, I mean,
No, actually, technically speaking, they've actually changed quite a bit. Now, what we're talking about, the changes here would be things like the immune system, varied aspects of the circular system, whatever chemicals they actually stick into people like fire ants, for example, to make us hate them so fucking much. Those have certainly gotten more effective. But in terms of structurally, not so much other than size, because they've certainly gotten smaller.
Yeah, I should have prefaced it by saying their morphology hasn't changed much. But yeah,
But I sort of class it as fit for purpose. If something is ideally fit for purpose in its evolutionary niche, then there is no demand, drive, or need to affect change because there's no influence, making that change advantageous.
Oh, that's true enough. But you haven't met a goddamn fire ant yet, if you're saying that.
I love fire ants.
Oh, those motherfuckers! I hate them.
You know what I really like about them? They're already in North America and they're not here.
Yeah, that'd be the one thing that I could understand you liking about them. They're nasty little fucks. You can sit there and they can get on something and you can pour water on top of them and they'll just be walking around in the bottom of the water like, hi, I've got an exoskeleton and I got plenty in here with me. Little motherfuckers.
Vinegar.
Ugh. Hate the little bastards. Anyway.
Yeah, we get red ants here that bite, but not really very badly.
Yeah, they're the ones that haven't quite managed to master turning your arm into fucking liquid. God. Anyway.
And you've got poison ivy too, so it's like perfect.
Poison ivy, poison sumac. The only thing we don't have is every fucking poison thing that they have in Australia.
Yeah, but that's just, I think that actually is one of the better examples for why there is a God, because someone really was saying, don't fucking live here.
Yeah, fucking funnel webs. Holy shit.
Did you hear about the poor guy that got bit by a redback twice?
No.
On his penis?
Well,
no, but I heard about the guy that punched a kangaroo in the fucking face to save a dog.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
I saw that shit, dude.
that kangaroo was like stunned. He's like, he just hit me in the face.
Motherfucker, did you just hit me? Motherfucker, get back here. What are you doing? What you doing, motherfucker? And he's too busy doing the arm thing. It's like, okay, yeah, the kangaroo's black. I see the arm thing.
Kangaroos are hilarious. Their build is hilarious, though. Like the male kangaroo, like they look like bodybuilders.
Oh man, though, there's something about the way that the female kangaroos lay down that is like, okay, that's fucking creepy as shit. Because it's a very human pose, and it's like, okay, that's creepy.
Yeah,
You're
the way
scary,
they
bitch. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, the way they lay on the ground, like they're like you're kind of the way you kind of lay down when you're reading the book, and the way that they stand up. Yeah, it's very human-like.
Weirder still, it's the kind of pose that if a human woman were doing the same pose, it'd be an attempted seduction, and that's why it's like, oh, that's just no, stop that, ew.
So what you're saying is we need to buy an awful lot of female kangaroos in Australia, chaise lounge, so they can sort of like recline on them and look good.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of one laying down right now, and that's
something about it is just kind of disturbing because it looks like it by the human mind and what we recognize as a woman trying to get in a seductive pose, it kind of triggers that, and in the back of my head, I'm like, that is fucking surreal. Kill it with fire.
Jeez.
There was the weird thing is years ago I was watching this special that was talking about the evolution of kangaroos through the years, and there was this one state they entered. I'm like, wow, they were trying to become us, and then they changed their fucking mind. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
So was it a kangaroo or a wallaby that hopped off the ark? Which one? I mean, I would think it would be a wallaby because they're like smaller and they have a.
No. You have to keep in mind, you have people like Ken Ham and what have you that believe in this weird hyper evolution. So it's a kangabee.
Oh, kangaroo. Okay, gotcha.
Like it. It's thing I didn't know. Do you know where camels originally came from?
Well, I mean, they're all in the kind of cow family, aren't they? The antelope, bovidae, isn't that all?
Yeah, they're part of that phylogeny. But
yeah.
Where the earliest camel remains have been found. This surprised me. I didn't know.
Okay, according to the Creation Research Institute, they come from God's wretched foreskin.
What?
Yeah, just did my best job trying to make it sound like I was reading aloud there.
Ridiculous, because God would have had a circumcision.
I'm gonna say Asia, somewhere in Asia, right?
It's North America.
North America.
And they were
part of the continental divide. That's possible.
They were there until about 12,000 BC. Towards the end of the last ice age, and that's when kind of the last of them died out. And they'd obviously migrated across the land bridge to Siberia, and that's why you then have camels in the rest of the world, which I find just fascinating.
They had to find more people to spit on. That's the problem.
Yeah, nasty things. I had to go to a zoo for a biology project and go and catalog some of the big, gigantic ones. I can't remember what they're called.
The two humpers.
The two humps, exactly.
Yes, right. They're the two
Bactrian.
humpers. Yes.
Well, what's the one in South America that looks like
llama?
Llama. There you go.
Or alpaca.
Alpaca, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, how am I doing on the camel
alpaca
knowledge?
llama, basically the same. The alpaca llama is more or less the same fucking thing, or at least I'm convinced of it, because the drama llama is actually an alpaca.
The drama llama.
The drama llama is actually an alpaca.
Okay.
Hang on, let me grab the brow thing.
Yeah. Oh, he's not brown. He's kind of gray and white. But yeah, let me turn on my. There we go.
Is this part of the Emperor you agree?
Here. No. This is the drama llama. He's technically an alpaca. Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, they make great sweaters, right?
Out here? Why am I here? Get out of here, drama llama.
I don't want to know where you
No
put
drama
that.
for you. Drama for you, motherfucker. There we go. Put him back up.
Drama llama ding dong.
No, you got it. Strangely,
So
one
you've
of the
seen
most
face
popular
behind Shadow,
characters.
that was scary.
One of the most popular faces. One of the most popular characters on my little shows is the drama llama. Although he seldom makes an appearance. He generally does that on other people's hangouts and goes and vandalizes them. You get somebody like Ronnie or G-Man in there, or Darwin Z or whatever, and he comes in there to start masturbating in the middle of the floor and drum llama ding dong and all that.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Why do you think G-Man keeps like doxing himself? What is it? What's like? There's something. I mean, when he does things like that, he's got to know that people are going to like. He's got enough enemies in this community to where like people are gonna do like bad things to him. That's kind of what do you call that when you've got like a destructive kind of
victim complex?
Yeah.
Not a victim. It's like you do things that are gonna hurt yourself, but you can't stop it. What is? It's not a victim.
Self-destructive impulses.
Something like that, where he's at work and he goes outside and it's got the sign. He did a thing where his number was exposed. Why would a rational person do those kind of things?
Well, the explanation that I've been hearing is that he has fetal alcohol syndrome, and he just does not have the mental capacity to realize what he's doing. I've heard that like 4 times this week, and so I'm kind of starting to believe it. Because there's no way that he does not realize that he is putting his information out there, and that he draws attention to it,
right?
And then that's what causes people to realize it, because it's like, well, if you've been looking at the PowerPoints that I put up, it has my real name on it every time I show it, but I don't say anything, and then no one notices, and then people go, "Oh yeah, I did notice something." Yeah,
they go back and look at it then.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I don't care, but
Drag, look at the sidebar. Internal.
Hold on.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't, live, you don't live in South Carolina, do you?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
What's going on in South Carolina? I know a couple of people in South Carolina.
My cousin's moving back to the US. So he wants to buy a house.
Well, in
Now, if you wanted to buy one in
Charleston?
Texas, that'd be an easy one.
Be a bit of a commute though.
yeah. You live in what? Fort Worth?
Dallas. EFW.
Dallas. Okay.
Do you get a lot of tornadoes there?
No.
Eh,
Tornado
yeah,
Alley's
okay.
above us. We did have one that went through. We're right near what is it, Lake Ray Hubbard, I guess it is. And there was one on the other side of it towards some other cities, and that was pretty fucking bad. But that was a ways away, and it's a rarity.
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often. It's not like the entirety of Texas is underwater like a certain state that looks like a boot.
No, that's Houston. I was in Houston when they did some flooding was
You mean
happening.
country that looks like a boot?
Italy.
Italy.
You mean country. You said state.
Oh no, we have a state next to Texas that's underwater.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking under the actual sea in this case.
No.
No, what's the other in Europe? There's the Amsterdam, or what's the one that's built? They built the whole apparatus to kind of combat that.
That's the Netherlands.
Netherlands,
Amsterdam's
right.
the capital city of the Netherlands. Or if you want to be incorrect, you can call it Holland.
Yeah, they want to kind of survive our irresponsibility.
Oh, don't worry. What they don't know about land reclamation isn't worth knowing. Believe me, everybody else will be under fucking water, and the Dutch will still be above it.
The Dutch will be going, ha ha, fuck you.
Look at me, I have my gloves. It is all good.
I was gonna say, and I know you guys switched topic, but I would have paid the $200 for his plane flight. But I got a teacher. Teacher tagged me. I guess Xbox is having hard times again. He's getting kicked out of his house.
Oh shit.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So teacher, what's his name? Whatever it is.
Jack Coons?
Yeah, I think it was Jack Coons, or no, maybe not Jack Coons, but another guy, teacher. He tagged me and Ermine and Ocean, asking, and Annabelle, hey, how about us guys getting together to helping out Xbox? That's like, well, why would you tag me?
Due to circumstance, though, I mean, there's literally nothing I could do to help any of these folks, even if I fucking wanted to, which is a little frustrating because the property I'm buying, there's currently a tenant living in there, and I decided to be a decent fucking human being because, atheism and morality seem to go hand in hand for some reason. So I decided that in buying it, I'm going to let the person finish out their lease because I'm not a douche.
Yeah, but that opposite happened to Xbox. His landlord sold the property, and the new landlord's going to do something else with it.
Yeah.
So he's only got like a certain amount of time he's got to get out. Otherwise, he's got to start paying fees and all kinds of shit. So, and the cops can evict him. Yeah, he's got like 10 days or something. Cops
10 days?
Yeah.
To move an entire house. He has kids too, doesn't he?
He must have known before 10 days, though.
You know what?
I don't know how your property law works.
No,
I would like
that's
to
just
believe
it. You don't have to.
Yeah, isn't there only certain states that they have a stipulation?
The tenants' rights. Yeah, a lot of the U.S. doesn't have anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Arkansas, so they don't have that.
We don't believe in that kind of stuff. Come on, Josh.
The thing that bugs me is I've worked in America. I've been to America a load of times. Absolutely, 24, maybe 3 dozen times. And it still gets me. I still get shocked by certain ways that some of your laws work. And anyway.
Yeah, but no, I was just saying I would have paid for Ronnie's flight. I would have paid the $200 for his flight, but if you guys postpone it until like February, I'll still pay it. But
I'm absolutely qualified to stitch people up, so I can come over and do that for people.
All he has to do is come and contact me. This Hangout's been open for well over 2 hours, and I've been checking my messages, and I've not heard a hide nor hair of him. So I don't know. I guess he wasn't that serious.
Of course not. I mean, any more serious than when he was sitting there saying that he'd box Sam, and Sam was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go through there. I'll meet Prudent. We'll go by, and he can sit there and watch while I kick your ass."
Yeah, see how that went.
Sam definitely sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no,
Sam
I've
actually,
seen Sam actually.
yeah, he competes. We've seen him compete. Even outside of his weight group, he does fairly good against other people that are skilled.
There's some seriously trained. I know Floyd did like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and even like Matt Bell did. Like he's like got a couple advanced level belts in karate.
Yeah, Floyd's a badass. People don't realize, he's kind of like, I'm not like, you laugh.
No,
but
I
Floyd's a
totally
badass,
agree.
dude.
Yeah,
Floyd has some fucking training. They used to call him a proctologist, dude. He was just
because he'll get up in that ass.
he'll get up in that ass.
That makes him sound more like a male prostitute than it does a mixed martial artist.
Okay. Interesting.
Here comes the colonoscopy.
That's the finishing move. Yeah, exactly.
Floyd, you feel free to take that, Floyd. That is pure D. That was one of those off the top of the head things. Yeah, that's
interesting.
I wouldn't say off the top of your head, but more like the Khyber Pass.
Oh god, I just got a phone call from Redline. He's it's a few hours away from me right now, so I guess I should start packing. But he'll be here around 11 tonight, so yeah, I'll probably go out to get something to eat a little later.
Tell Red good luck with his Duranianism and stuff, because I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh shit, my little brother's in the side chat. No, Lance, it's not. He's full of shit. Okay, so Lance, my little brother Lance is in the chat right now. It's Petralis. So Lance,
Hi, Lance.
Can you tell them what it was like growing up with me? Maybe I don't know, but
did he Floyd you, Lance? Did he Floyd you?
Wait a minute. Here's the thing. I'm not sure how good your brother's vocabulary is, so I'm going to make sure that he's familiar with the terms pernicious twat.
Syphilis.
Syphilitic mongoloid buffoon. Terms like this,
Okay, it's I've been given confirmation that in Arkansas, 10 days to vacate a domicile. 10 days.
It varies state to state, and it's kind of shit. I mean, but that was the thing is, I'm like, okay, I know there's a tenant in this property, so my first thing was like, okay, when does his lease run up? And I'm like, okay, January. That's not a big fucking deal. I can deal with that. And oh no, I get a little extra income out of the deal. Darn.
Yeah, like that's so shitty. So we're still trying to coordinate everything that's going to happen in New York, but I've already talked to Hannah and Red. We're going to try and have a fundraiser. I'm going to throw in some money a little bit afterwards for Gus and for Xbox. Yeah. But we're going to do something to help these guys out, because that's bullshit. I don't care what anybody says. That's fucking bullshit. That's what actually matters, to me, because when I said that, when I said to myself years and years ago, I put myself in a fucking position to help out other people, that's what I'm going to do. And like this shit on the internet where you're challenging some fucking hobbit that yells from under the bed to a street fight, that's not one of them. So what I would like to do is to probably do a live hangout, and then it'll probably be on Red's channel, maybe Hannah's channel, or Red will probably film it and we'll just put it on Hannah's channel, and then put the links up so people can give. And one of the first things I'm thinking about doing is just filming us going ice skating, so you guys can see me in action and bust my ass, and maybe have Hannah do some of her martial arts on me or something like that. And if the higher someone donates, like the more dangerous the technique. I don't know. Like we were still trying to brainstorm, but we're open to options, since G-Man and True and some of these other Clown Car Posse clowns haven't really contributed much to this effort. It's going to be pretty much up to us and those people who are actually Christians to help out with the effort. Oh, by the way, Lance, I'm gonna put a link on Facebook. Share this link around and click a like up, or was it thumbs up, so you can vote for the guy who challenged me to a fight as Dumb Fuck of the Year. Yes, there's a competition to vote. Let's see where if I can
Now,
find it.
granted, my guy's still Antonio, Mr. Daytime, Nighttime, but yeah, Ronnie's starting to fucking fight for it at this point, fighting for the title of dumb fuck.
I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he does after this, but I mean, what the fuck?
Keep me posted on Xbox if there's anything I can think of that I can do to help. I will.
Yeah, that's just dude. I hate really hearing about
Donation
shit.
links for them, Drag.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Yeah, you go to Xbox, his G Plus, he put a G Plus post on there, and I think he's giving out his PayPal account or something.
Hang on a second. Your name, that was me actually basically telling him put it in the external for people that may want to.
Yeah.
That was code for that.
Okay, I put the link in there for vote thumbs up for Ronnie as dumb fuck of the year. Lance, Ronnie has not went to college ever in his life. I'm going to just throw that out there. He claimed to have a graduate
Is he actually
degree.
6'1"? Because he's saying before 6 foot.
Well, he says he's my size, and that's something that I'm genuinely wondering about. I honestly don't know because I've seen him stand up, but even with me standing up, people didn't understand how tall I was until I stood next to something. And so he may well be around my height. I honestly don't know.
No, come on. I this whole thing with Ronnie's never gone to college. I don't think that's completely fair. I'm sure at some point in his life, he's driven by the front of a college building.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what Bratalius
He
said.
went to it, then he went from it.
No, he went to college just like Arcane went to college. Somebody had to mow the lawn and clean the toilets. So.
In his case, it'd be more like using the toilet. He would have got more from osmosis from cleaning the fucking thing.
Oh. Okay, I'm back on my page. I'm trying to find. Okay, here's the link for Gus. I can't share it in Google Plus because Google Plus hates fundraiser, but I'm sharing it on my Google Plus page. So just click that. Give what you can to Gus, and I'm gonna try and find the Xbox one and share that as well. And of course, fucking
Xbox hasn't fit up a proper one right now, so.
Okay, I'll just hold off on that.
Yeah,
we're finding the amount of silence from JD just somewhat concerning.
I don't think he knows how to. I think he said something about not how to set up something for it. So somebody might need to see about contacting him and helping him with that if he doesn't already have one.
Okay, yeah. Someone let me know and get a hold of Xbox so we can help him out with that because that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped him out a couple months ago, so I'm just gonna donate right to his PayPal account, so it goes right to him.
Yeah, I've been trying to fuck with PayPal for so long, and I can never there's some type of verification shit that I've not been able to get right. And you know what? I'd more likely donate through Facebook because that seems to work out a lot better for me.
Yeah. Yeah, if you read his G Plus post, he gives some options on there on how to get a hold of him and how to help him out.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't sat down and read it yet, so I'm going to switch to my phone and go pick up my son.
If I lived anywhere near him, I mean, it's it's not like even if I was going to have one or two properties available, it's if I was going to, it's not like I could actually say, yeah, you can stay here because his wife has a job in the area.
Yep. Many kids who got to school and.
Yeah, there's that whole thing. So it's one of those things. It's like, damn it, at first I was like, damn it, why couldn't this be in January? And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, that wouldn't have mattered either because he'd have to relocate his entire life. But 10 days just isn't enough time for anyone to act, really.
Yeah, especially with him, he can't do the physical labor to pack things up. His wife has to work all day, so she's gonna have to come home from work and then try and pack things up. And
the clusterfuck, man.
Yeah.
And this is the thing: the one thing I've learned is when shit goes sideways like this, it's always when my money's tied up in other shit.
Yeah, it always happens when a bunch of it comes along too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally just signing on a fucking house today. And I don't finance, so that means every fucking cent I have is tied up in this shit right now.
Yeah, it's the same. I don't finance either. When I bought my property up north, I paid cash for it. I'm like, I'm not owing anybody any money anymore.
I'm just glad that the old one, after I buy this one, when I resell it, I should be getting back the majority of what I'm spending now. But that's not going to be till probably, I don't know, the realtor thinks you should be able to move this quick because I'm planning on selling it as a flippers special because it does need some work. And I should be able to turn it around from what she's saying without even fucking listing it within a week or two.
That'll work out great.
Yeah. But, that doesn't help now with anyone.
No. Nope.
Y'all just have shit timing.
Yeah, and it's cold. I mean, I'd haul my camper down there and let him stay in it for, a week, a couple weeks till he can find a place if it came down to it. But you can't even stay in a camper because the water lines are free. Everything will freeze up on it.
Mm. Yeah, there's a point. Yeah, the thing that really got me was him talking about potentially having to, so to speak, pawn off his 17-year-old daughter on the boyfriend and his little apartment thing. And I'm like, yeah, I can see how much that's not desirable, but I understand if you're going to be potentially stuck living in a fucking car for a few weeks, I get the motivation there. At least, the kid's somewhat safe, even if they are potentially going to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Better pregnant than dead.
Yep. Yeah. How many kids does he have?
I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever really asked. These are the kind of personal questions we usually don't get into too much.
Yeah.
He knows I have kids. I know he has kids, but we generally don't get into it too much beyond that. It's that whole internet thing is that you're always a little guarded no matter who your friends are.
Yep. Yeah. But no, I just trying to figure out this Jamie Teacher. I don't know who Jamie Teacher is. I know he doesn't have many followers, and I know he got into it with Deidre about something one time. But he tagged me, Joe Sonseed, and Ocean, and I'm like, oh, why are you tagging me? I don't even know who you are. Why? Because I donated, Gus, so you just decided to tag me too.
I don't know, man. The thing is, on here, I've known Xbox quite a bit of a while, and even though I'm not a fan of Gus, I never have been. But at the same point, when G-Man initially agreed to have that debate thing and then backed out, I was really pissed because it's like, don't be a douchebag. If there was something I could do, even if I don't like Gus, I'd do what I could. But right now, I'm fucking tied up. I can't even help Xbox, who I have been friends on here for a while with.
Yeah, and I heard Dragnut say earlier that Ronnie thought about this boxing match as like a charity event to help Gus out. I don't remember when I watched the video. I don't remember Ronnie saying that. I think all I heard him say is they would try and get the match going and just set up a GoFundMe, maybe to pay for travel expenses or whatever. But when he didn't say, he just said set up a GoFundMe. He didn't say. So he said set up a GoFundMe. He didn't say
what for.
Yeah, he didn't say what for, and he didn't say about donating to anybody's GoFundMe. He said setting up a GoFundMe. So
for all we know, it was a GoFundMe because he figured that he could make money on it. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, so. And that's why when Dragnut said, that he'd set up a charity to help Gus, I'm like, well, I never heard that. Maybe he heard it somewhere else. And so if Ronnie said that, I was going to say, well, good for Ronnie for saying it, but I don't remember hearing him saying it.
Well, my guess is that he heard about the charity that he was trying to set up for a debate with G-Man, and this was his kind of answer to it, as a charity for that. And I don't even think he knows what it's about, because a lot of these people don't fucking pay attention to what's going on in the proverbial community around them. They deal with their one little insular segment of it and don't look at there's a lot more people out there than just a couple people they fucking hang out with.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I got to get back to driving. I just jumped in for a little bit, and
take care, man.
Yeah, I got to go back to work. I got to get uploaded yet. I'll jump back in later when I start driving on the road and get in.
All right. See you, Bob. I'm going to open up another hangout after I grab my son.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, now show us where Dragnog grabbed you.
All right, I'll drop.
Sorry.
All right, talk to you guys later.
And JD Kane's still AFK. Well, I guess you're going to call it then, Drag? He's away from the mic. I will drop in the sounds of silence.
Yeah, Drac. Mic check. Okay. Where did everybody go?
Okay. Oh, where'd Cycle go? Oh. Yeah, I wasn't trying to use up my data because this app takes up a hell of a lot of data. So I'm gonna start a Hangouts within the next like 15 to 20 minutes, something like that. The bus should be here within the next like 5 minutes. I can tell JD Kane that, and it will be a Twitch stream. Just shooting the shit, no topic, since Ronnie didn't show, of course. If he's too busy, like on his way to wherever, I don't, Kaneki, I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah. So this hangout, I will probably, maybe, get a chance to actually talk about the game. Just maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. People come by and we start talking about stuff. Just random stuff. So let me get off of here before my wife will text me with an angry message or something. I don't know.